Good morning. What's going on? How are we doing? Let's see what's going on here. There we go. That's working. Is this working? I think it's working. I believe we're working. I hope we're working. Because my goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. There are some issues. There's some issues for sure. We're not seeing, I don't know why, like my hunger isn't going down. Let me go post that actually. Let me go see if there's bug report. Lantern fuel not working. Storage bugged. How do you spell thirsty? Thirsty. Despite having food. Like I've got food. Here, let's unlock this. Throw this up here. Print screen. Move this back down here. Post. Easy peasy. I guess it's more like hungry or thirsty. Edit. Edit. I can't change the title, can I? Whatever. I don't care. It's fine. It said hungry and thirsty a second ago, so that kind of went away. Don't they have to be in the main slot bars? No, they do not. They can be over here. I've always had my food in my very last pouch slot over here. I've always done that. They do not have to be in your main bar. I'm saying with this patch, it's broken. Yeah, it's 100% broken. I mean, this is kind of the issues. Like Hoku can tell you, right? Hoku will tell you. This is kind of the stuff that happened a lot, and this isn't a negative towards the dev team. This happened quite a bit on the alpha servers, and why a lot of us were saying, hey guys, maybe we're not ready for this to go mainstream yet. A lot of times when they have an update, there are issues. I want to test something here while this guy's hitting it. I'm gonna test. We're gonna test the node here. When he hits a node, I'm gonna try to hit it and see if it actually does work. You just need a pickaxe? Yeah, you just need a pickaxe. Where the heck is he going? Find a node. He's zigzagging all over the place. Find a node. Oh my gosh, he's not finding a node. All right, we'll test it on somebody else because he's clearly not going for any of the nodes or doesn't know where they are. He's just kind of running willy-nilly. Do you right-click? No, you just, you just... No, you do right-click. Yes, you do right-click. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Like, I just kind of innately do it. When I get up to a node, yes, I right-click it. Hopefully my YouTube chat works today. It's still not showing up, so I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can do a pop-out of YouTube chat. Because it is still not showing up. I don't know why, but it's driving me bonkers. Like, I don't want to have to read two separate chats all the time. The heck? All right, so we do that. Test YouTube chat. I see it on my other screen, but it's not showing up in my dual chat window for some reason. So I gotta have two chat windows. Like I don't know what's going on. I think that the plugin that I'm using for OBS, they need to fix that. I think it's broken. It's bustified. Some bustification. Uh-oh, I gotta sneeze. Thank you so much for testing that for me, Brianna. I appreciate it. But I do see it on my YouTube side. I don't see it in my OBS side, so we'll have to see what's going on with that. I know it went down last night during Primus stream. 48 must be long. Yeah, 48 takes a while. It takes a while. Oh, shoot. I don't have Sal again. I need Sal. Anybody want to come out here and give me Sal? Anybody have Sal? Anybody have a large pig? Suey. I really don't like not having Sal. This is not good though. Hunger not working is not good. No soup for you. I mean, no Sal for you. What's going on, Westmort? How you doing, bud? All right, we're gonna drink my breakfast this morning. I kind of had a very quick morning. I went over Nick's streams. I made a video. Those are up. I'm going to officially post them here in just a second. They're posted. You can actually watch them if you go to my channel, but they're just not officially. There we go. I can now publish. There we go. Those should be published. People can be able to find those, see those, watch those, enjoy those. It was a double shot stream. Nick showed up. Nick showed up a second time in the evening. But yeah, this is an issue. Your hunger, you're not gonna be able to regenerate health at all if you don't have hunger. Like, you can get healed, but you can't regenerate your health. Kind of a big problem. Good. Playing Dragon Quest HD Remake right now. Nice. You enjoying that? I played the demo. I didn't play the entirety of the game, but I played the demo. Put it in your main inventory slot and click it. Main inventory slot and click it. Well, that's just silly. Does it go away if I put it back down here? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Silver vein. Good. I like silver veins. No beta key? Yeah. You know what I don't like about this is how long does this lock for? Did it say it locks for like 10 seconds when you hit a vein? Does it like... I remember reading it, but I don't remember exactly what it said anymore. But I think it's like it locks after the first swing, and then does it lock for 10 seconds? Because if it doesn't unlock later on, that could be a problem. Where's this at? Announcements. What is this? The shared bank problem. Working on fix. Okay, they're working on a fix for that. General fixes. Was it under general or was it under harvesting mining nodes on top? What's that? That's a different thing. UI, bug fixes. Lock harvest nodes for 10 seconds. Okay, after harvesting. Okay, so it locks them for 10 seconds. That's good that it doesn't permanently lock them, because that would be bad. What's the shared bank problem? Apparently you can't put items in the shared bank right now. Yeah, that's a win for mining. Like, what the heck? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? We got a donkey parade. We got a bit of a donkey problem. What? Donkey issue. What's happening? We're following the magical donkeys. Oh, this is great. This is some quality content. This is the quality content. What is happening? Let's see if they go away when he zones. Oh, there they go. What? Okay, okay. Now, what is happening here? Oh boy. Oh wow. Okay, let me zone. Let me zone. Let me see if Coffee made additional donkeys. Let's see. Let me go over the hill because it may not load in until we actually. What if they don't despawn? Yeah, we'll have to see. There he is. There's Oh, he's doing it again. Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh my god, dude. Oh, this is, oh my god. Let me tell him. Oh my goodness. I'm letting him know. I don't This is hilarious. Hey, what's going on, Burl? We're just going on a donkey parade. Okay. Well, you know, there's coffee. There's coffee right there. You're making a lot. This is insane, man. You have donkeys going through the entire last zone and this zone. Every few feet, you just make a new coffee donkey. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh man. Wow. Like, do we do a petition for this? I don't know what to do. They need to take down the patch. I'm telling you guys, like, this is the kind of stuff that we experienced often in the alpha, where we would get these kind of bugs that would just happen. And, you know, like, we're like, hey, maybe we should push back the beta a little bit. Like, I wonder where Coffee is. Let's see if we can find him. Maybe I should turn on my tracking. Do I here, let me take a screenshot. Yoink. Where do we put this? Bug report, new post. We have a donkey issue. ... Paste. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. Like, what do we do here? What do they say here? Just spoke to GM. Devs are aware and working on it. Expect a hot fix. I've stated the bag. Same issue. Drink. Okay. Not sure if this is working for everyone, but okay. Got it. If you reload your UI, let's see. Reload. Nope, that didn't fix it. Oh! He must have zoned. Donkey zoned. When he zones, the donkeys turn into purple pink donkeys. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow. Wow. All right, let's zone back over and let's see if the donkeys are still there. Oh, geez. This is fun. This is going to be a good day. I can tell this is going to be a good day. Holy moly. Here, let me do this. Print screen and do this and add that to the donkey issue. So we're going to do this and someone else posted it. Donkeys everywhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the exact same thing. Exact same thing. I wonder if these are these the same donkeys? I bet that's the same. It's him. It's Coffee. It's the exact same. Enhance. Enhance. It's Coffee is what it is. It's literally just Coffee. Well, Coffee, you did something. I don't know what he did, but it's literally Coffee. My goodness. If there's an inventory bug, he might have stuff in his donkey that's doing it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Kirkland invaded? Something invaded. Holy moly. Let's zone back over and see if it's still there. I'm curious if it's going to stay. My goodness. All right, so zoning seems to clear it. Good morning, Hyper Taco. How you doing, bud? Wowzy zousers. Oh my goodness gracious. What are we going to do with coffee? What are we going to do with that guy? Apparently he gave his donkeys too much coffee. That's my guess. Here, let me I got to join Discord here. All right, so we're in Discord. Is that a named pickaxe? No, it's not. It's just a regular pickaxe. Bangarang, join. All right, get rid of that. No such thing as too much coffee. And maybe the donkey can learn charm. Who knows? I'm curious how charm is going to work. I am very curious. Like, I hope that these changes to itemization, I hope that they fix things. What was in the patch? A lot. Well, mostly it was charm. So now what they're doing, like the biggest thing, I guess, would be itemization in the patch. Your stamina, intelligence, and wisdom are now going to affect your mana pool and health pools more than just your level. Which it looks like I lost HP. Which is not good. Because I guess they moved things over to the stamina side, and since my stamina's not like crazy high. Are you excited about the changes Nick was talking about yesterday? Some of them, yeah. Some of the changes that he has going look really good. I didn't want to talk about him too much in the stream, in the recap of his stream, because like these are like maybes. We're talking about doing these things, but we're not necessarily implementing them right now. So we don't know, you know, like he's just, it's just talk at the moment. But some of the stuff sounded really good. Increasing TTK on the armor of the mobs, that's a good change. Yeah. Stamina isn't a dump stat at creation anymore. I mean, it is. Yeah, adding stamina is still good because it gives you more health. So stamina is definitely worth having. But yeah, now your strength is going to mean more for your damage rather than just increasing your damage as you get higher level. Your strength is actually going to be considered more. Your wisdom and intelligence are going to be considered more for your mana and your stuff. So all that, yeah. I like the locking of the nodes is good. That's a good change for those that, you know, are complaining about it. I didn't really have too many issues with it. But what's that going to do? That's going to make people that have Speed of the Wild that much more powerful. It's pretty much if you're not using, and I'm not using currently Speed of the Wild, but if you're not using Speed of the Wild, you're just going to be slower. Just slower. So we'll have to see. Make the nodes instance. That's kind of what they did. It's first come, first serve on the nodes at this point. All right, we're going to start saving the silver. I'm going to actually try to level up my stuff. Oh, I'm thirsty again. Can I right-click? Yeah, so right now you have to do this, and then it drinks it by putting it up here. So you have to put your food... All right, let's just do it this way. We'll just put our food up there in the main inventory slot to make that work. Holy moly. I wonder what... I want to know what Coffee's doing to cause that. Is it because he's riding his donkey, maybe? Has anyone told him of the huge bug and not die? Yeah. Coffee knows. He knows about his... You talking about that? You talking about the donkey bug? I would like to see them lock a mob on XP loot. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't like mob locking. That just feels bad. Well, they can't do that for raid mobs. They literally can't do that, not unless they make raid frames. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Non-party members can help, but just not gain. I mean, maybe. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because like the gray area that we talked about yesterday, what about people here? Let's just go ahead and keep these two for right now. What about people that are like casting a spell to go and all you do is just tag the mob real quick with an instant ability, and then they're casting a spell to engage the mob? It's a gray area, and it's tough. It's very tough. Do you want to mitigate kill stealing? Yeah, and there's a lot of ways they can mitigate it, but they're going to cause other issues if they try to mitigate it too much. So, they got to be careful how they do that. Competing for mobs is a big thing in these games at higher level. It is, yeah. How does your DPS feel compared to other classes at level 49? I think the fighter DPS is okay. Like, it's in a good place. People keep saying that it's top 3 DPS. That is absolutely an incorrect statement. It's 100% false. I don't know where people are getting that information from. But fighter DPS is good. It's very good for a tank. Now, does it need to be adjusted? You know, that's for the devs to figure out if it's too high or too low or whatever. But yeah, it's I think it's in an okay place, personally. You know, I think that Shadow Knight DPS plus their pet is better. Dude, we need to walk to town. I'm gonna go walk to town. I need Sal. This is brutal without Sal. Absolutely brutal. I feel like they adjusted weight. Did they adjust weight somehow? Because, like, I'm much lower weight than I used to be. Like, I'm used to being, like, at 100 or something without having a bunch of stuff in my inventory. So, I think they adjusted something. Did they adjust wood, maybe? I don't think so. It's already pretty low. Yeah, I don't know what they did. But I feel like it was adjusted. Your bags may not be counting right now. Let's see. Let's test it out. If we take a lantern. Up. That's what it is. Everything in my bags are not counting. When you pick this up, my weight goes up. When you put it... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we could just carry around tons of ore. Silly amounts of ore. Oh my goodness. So just bags in general are bugged. Hang on, let's go back to this. Inquisitor aura resistant buff shuts off. Oh, jeez. Aura resistance buff almost. Like, oh, I got Sal. Yay. Here, do we have money to give this guy? We're going to give him 40 silver for coming out and saving me. 41 silver. He saved the day. He gets 41 silver for casting Sal, so I don't have to go all the way back to town. That doesn't mean I'm going to do that every time. So don't come and cast Sal on me randomly and expect me to give you 41 silver. Don't. That's not going to be a normal thing. Your entire bank will end up in your corpse on death. Fix. Hey, what's going on? We got some issues in this patch, dude. It's hilarious. There's all sorts of things happening. Well, Coffee, you know Coffee, right? The Necromancer. He was just walking through the zone, and he literally had a trail of donkeys. Every like few feet, there was a donkey. Wait, is this not working? Did that not work? What the heck? We just competed for a node. What? I thought they fixed that. Or changed that. Did they not change it? It was like this first or second like patch note. Oh my gosh, dude. My goodness gracious. Literally the second patch note, and it didn't work. They're going to have to roll this back. I mean, they don't have to roll it back necessarily, but they're going to have to take the servers down. Like, come on. None of the patch went through, apparently. Or what did go through. I don't know what's going on, man. This is weird. Rollback is a good idea. I don't think it needs a rollback. I don't think anything. Well, I mean, people may have died, I guess. If people died and like have their entire their entire banks on their corpses, then that's a problem. Oh my goodness. If that's true, that's a big problem. That's a very big problem, yeah. Yeah, don't die right now, Yasar. If you die, people are saying that your entire bank will go to your corpse. So definitely don't die right now. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't died, but yeah, there's apparently some big issues with this patch. Well, they changed regeneration now too, and it says something about if you're sitting down. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, you have to be sitting to gain regeneration, but I don't know if that refers to regeneration on your spells. I have no idea. What level did they get greater regeneration, though? Well, they're going to be getting double attack back, or double attack back as well, so. I think the Beastmasters are going to be the OP class soon. Everybody roll Beastmaster. It's coming. It's coming. Beastmaster looks like it's going to be like super strong very soon. They added in like greater regeneration to it. Nick's talking about putting double attack back on it. keeping the they get nerfed out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was like an issue that they had with fighters and, well, with all the tanks at 1.2, and then they completely broke it. Took them forever to fix that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that. They did the same thing to tanks and left it in for months. Like, they had an ability that stuns the mob. So Slam stuns the mob for 1 second. And then if you use your other ability, after that, you can double up on your ability. But they put them on with a global cooldown. So when you use Slam, it stuns the mob for 1 second, but you couldn't use your other ability for like a second and a half. So he's done that before. Yeah, like yeah, that's 100%. I mean, I would give feedback on it and just let them know. Like, some of these changes, they don't make sense on. They maybe they make sense on paper. They do not make sense in practice. All right, sorry. Mining crew was running real light today. Weight in your bags doesn't count right now. Yeah, on your main inventory, exactly. Apparently that's what's going on. So we're gonna go do some mining while we can. The problem is, though, if I get super overweight with my mining by doing all of this, I may not be able to walk back to town. Because I don't know what my weight is. Yeah, Beastmaster is definitely on its way to becoming tier 1 DPS. It's already really good. Beastmaster is strong. I wouldn't consider Beastmaster OP right now. I think it's in a good place, mostly. I mean, it needs some tweaks, sure. But it looks like right now, Beastmaster, the direction that Nick is looking at, it might end up being like the OP class to go to outside of Charm classes. So, right, like Charm looks like it's coming down, but Beastmaster is on its way up. So we'll have to see what happens there. A lot of this stuff is just wait and see, you know? You just wait and see how it plays out in game. Which, I hate doing that. Like, I wish that there was more testing done internally before pushing it out. I mean, of course, we are in beta. All right, I'm just running around mining and stuff since our inventory has no weight right now. To be fair, we're testers, though. You know, that's literally what I just said. Literally what I just said. We are in beta, but, you know, this is something that is going to be an issue come early access. Like, we can't keep saying that indefinitely, right? I think at this point, and they're hiring, or they were hiring internal beta test or internal testers. And I think right now in the beta test is when you test stuff like that before you push it out to make sure that it actually gets out to the players properly. You know, that is the test that we need right now. Make sure that things work internally, so when it's pushed out to players, it still functions. And if it doesn't, then there's another issue there, right? I typed as you said at the same time. Yeah. So, like, we are beta testers, and I get that. I'm totally on board, you know, with being a beta tester. You know, we went through the alpha the same way. There was a lot of issues with alpha. The same exact thing was happening there. You know, where we get some crazy bugs that were happening. But yeah, we gotta get these tests and these updates pushed where they don't have major issues when we push them. That's what we need to get to. I'm not getting shaded. Oh, there we go. I got shade. Look at this. See, like, I'm not getting shade buff, and I'm in shade. Clearly, I'm in the shade. Oh, I'm getting shade there. I'm getting shade here, but not here. Here, but not here. Here, but not here. What the heck? Whole area looks shaded to me. Let's see. Let's go run through here. Run through this. No shade. Anywhere in here. Can you see the sun from the spot if you're zoomed in all the way? I mean, maybe. But, I mean, I'm in shade. See, like, I should be able to... There you go. I can't see the sun because it's blocked by shade. Zoomed in all the way. I'm blocking the sun. With the tree. No shade. Seems like something with the bug report. Yeah, shade does not seem to be working properly. We'll do a bug for it. I don't know what category to put that into. World collision terrain, maybe? I'm going to do other. We'll do it that. Shade not working properly under trees. Yeah, I don't know what category to put that in, but there we go. Bug reported. I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you want to go do stuff, or do you want to just wait and see what they're going to do with this patch? Because there might be a rollback. I have no idea. They haven't said anything. But we can go duo those undead for a bit. Do you know of a use for... yeah, that's for a quest, Moose knows. That is a quest. So there's no use unless you need it for a quest. I believe it's a shaman quest? I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows exactly what class, but it's a class quest. And I think it's shaman. Did you want to go duo some stuff for a little bit, or you want to wait to see if they're going to do a patch or what? All right. Yeah, let me know when you're heading out that way. I'm kind of out towards Glass Flats right now. Oh, okay. I'll just start heading that way then. I'm like right at the zone line. Who is? Oh, well, we can just pull what we pulled yesterday. Eh, whatever. Probably AFK. Yeah, I'll start running that way though. I want to test out my damage now. They increased the amount of damage you do based on strength and reduced it based on your level. So it should theoretically be I mean, for me it should be better. I've got really high strength. Especially when I use like skinning or sharpening knives and stuff. Plus your buffs now will hopefully mean more. I'm really curious how oh, your food and drink, Isar, if you are thirsty and hungry, check your food and drink. You have to put it in your actual inventory slots, not your bag right now. Like, pretty much everything in your bag is busted. Yeah, it's kind of a pain, but yeah, just put food and drink up there. I'm in Glass Flat, so I'm heading to you. Holy moly. Let's go see how damage does now. Yeah, it's fine. I still got to run all the way over there anyway. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's see what they say here. You can't sell items in your bag. They have to be in main inventory. Yeah, pretty much everything to do with your bag right now is bugged. So you gotta... Yeah, you gotta move everything to your main inventory. Try deleting your bag with this batch. Might give you double stuff with this patch. I mean, yeah, it might. I'm not going to delete my bags, though. Good morning, Asterian. How are you? I think, by the way, I fixed some of my my notifications, I think. So, follows should now work. Donations should work. I couldn't get my subs to work. Like, for them to pop up. The subs work. Like, if you sub to the channel, it works. But it wasn't popping up. So, if we get a new follow... Hey, what's going on, Devin? How are you? If we get a new follow, it should appear right here, right here, along the bottom of the screen, I think. I don't know. I'll have to see where I'm going to put it. But donations also should hold up there as well. Or show up there as well. Reservation about the new stat and damage changes until I can play. Not a fan of reading it. Hopefully doesn't mean caster. Yeah, did that show up? Did we get a new follow? Does it show up right here? I don't see it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know why they're not showing up. It's weird. Anyway. Oh, there it goes. It's right there. It just showed up. Boom. Okay, so the followers are showing. You can't read. You can't read the name. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to fix that stuff. Dirty Houdini. Corgi. What's up, little Corgi? I'm trying to fix that stuff. People like to have their name, you know, show up. So I'm trying to do that. I took that down a while ago, and I just never put it back up. Couldn't read that whatsoever. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I don't know why you can't read it. I'll have to get in there and try it and mess around with it a little bit more. But we're closer. We're closer. I wonder if it's the font. If it's like the font color is not going in with the visual background or something. I wonder if that's the issue. I'll look at it. It's just black font with a black background. That's all. Okay, I can adjust that easily. Yeah, and the sub thing wasn't showing up either. Like, I could hear the sub sound on my end, but I couldn't. But it wasn't showing. So I don't know. I think I just need to remake all of those. Like, just redo all of them. So I'll look at it at some point. I appreciate you guys testing it out for me, though, to see if it functions. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! We'll make it a just a white text, and then a black background. We can do that. This Brew over here soloing. All right. Let's open it up. I'm here. Just let me know when you're ready. We'll open it up real quick. Let's go here. Let me see. So if we go to alerts. Yeah. Everybody's getting frustrated with things. Like, I mean, we should get frustrated and we should let the devs know, but I mean, I wouldn't take it too seriously until we see exactly how they make these changes. I don't see a color option on these fonts. Oh, wait, it's over here. Color. Wait, is this color? Color? No, that's rotation. That's that. I gotta remake all of these. That's what I have to do. Yeah, I'll make a whole new alert. Yeah, global timer means that it puts all of your abilities on cooldown that are affected by the global cooldown. So it's not necessarily every ability. Like some abilities are off global cooldown. For example, my taunt and my kick, those are off global cooldown. But then I have global cooldown abilities that when you use them, they put all abilities that are affected by global cooldown on a global cooldown. All right, let me see. If I choose alert set... I like the lightning one. There's so many to choose from here. Like, so many to choose from. It's crazy. We'll just use this pure one for now. Let's try that. So we're going to edit the follow. We're going to edit the sound. We're going to turn that way down because it's so stinking loud. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not... We'll do duration, so we'll save that. Subscribe. We're just going to edit the sound, and I'm going to turn those way down. You guys can't hear the sounds anyway. I can hear the sounds, but you all can't. All right, no worries. I could make it where you guys can hear the sound, but I just don't have that on right now. All right, give me a second to set this up. Sound. I'll have to get new, like, whatchamacallits at some point. New graphics or whatever for it. So it looks kind of cool, but... I mean, he soloed something just a second ago. It's not a big deal. All right. All right, let me go here. Let me go here. Go here. Browser. This. Paste. Okay. All right. I think I've got it set up now. It should be working for at least for now. I'll mess with it more later. I'm not going to mess with it all day today. But I've got new things set up for it. All right, you want me to pull here, or do you want to go around the corner where we were before?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this brew guy's arguing with me about the taunt thing. He's like, Nick, you're wrong about the taunt thing, and Nick confirmed it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, Nick's wrong. Like, Nick is just straight up wrong about taunt. Like, it does not work the way that he thinks it does. Maybe it's intended to work the way he thinks it does, but it does not. Yeah, like, people think that taunt is just going to move threat to the top. I will prove it right now that taunt works. I won't even, like, I could pull this mob. I can just only use taunt. Only use taunt, and I guarantee you that Gith will not be able to pull aggro. Like, guarantee it. I could test it right now without doing any damage. And that's the thing with people. Like, they don't test stuff. Like, it's so easy to test. Anyway, I'm going to pull this. How is taunt supposed to work? Nick said yesterday in his stream that taunt is only supposed to move you to the top of threat, right? So if you are under the #1 spot in threat, it moves you to the top +1. Currently, however, it doesn't do that. It adds threat as well. It moves you to the top +1, but it also adds threat. If you are already at the top, it gives you threat. For a certain duration? No, not a certain duration. It just moves you to the top. But it 100% adds threat. I mean, you can easily show it. Like, it's so easy to it does. It 100% does. I've tested it. Like, you can pull a mob, literally just hit taunt, just spam taunt, and people will not be able to pull it off of you. It helps you maintain top. Exactly. Without that, without spamming taunt, you will not be able to hold aggro against any DPS class in the game. It would be impossible because there's no added threat to tanks. Zero added threat. So unless you're doing more DPS than everyone in your party, that's the only way you could hold threat. Literally the only way. Oh, see the damage? Yeah. We can pull up the damage. So let's see. Combat, melee, hit, mine. You keep going to the top. That's not how it works, dude. No, that's not how it works. It's not because you keep going to the top. That's not how it works. Pull a mob. Here, I'll do it right now. Easter, I'm going to pull a mob, and I'm just going to spam threat. I'm not going to attack it. See if you can pull it off of me, okay? Give me two taunts, and then see if you can pull it off. All right, so I'm going to pull this mob. I'm just hitting threat, just hitting taunt, right? Give me like a couple of taunts. Okay, so I'm spamming this, right? I'm just hitting taunt. Let me get it again. There we go. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They must have changed something recently. Yeah, maybe they changed something recently, but That's how it was before. So maybe they changed something recently. But I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to mess with it some more. But they literally, it used to spam taunt. Used to be able to spam taunt, and it keeps threat. Okay, Brewski, chill out, dude. Calm down. Calm down. I will fully admit if something changes and I am wrong, and I will admit that did seem like it did change. Yes, there was a change there. Last time I tested it, it did not work like that. A what? Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Don't be a jerk, though, okay? Don't be a jerk. You don't need to be a jerk about things. Like, we can have discussions. But I'll do some further testing on it later and see. How does the damage compare pre-patch? It seems like it's a little bit higher. It seems like a little bit higher. For me, anyway. Well, let me actually, so we're going to look at it here. I'm doing 34. We're doing 45 on a crit. 11, 12, 47, 23. Let me put on my buffs here that I have, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got to move this up here so this works. So an 80 damage crit. Yeah, 80. You can get up to, you can get some decent crits. They're just not very common. But that literally, you know, some of these changes literally could have gone in today, because we were talking about it in Nick's stream yesterday about the taunt stuff. So we'll have to see, you know, when some of that stuff changed, or if it changed. I even stopped all aggro generation, and he taunted a few times and wasn't able to pull it off me. However, that was in the last open. Yeah. I was tanking a mob on my paladin for DPS. I was spamming taunt and slam and asked my friend to taunt it off me. He couldn't. So taunt can get resisted. That's another thing. Taunt can get resisted. So if it's resisted, then obviously it's not gaining effect. That's why, like, a very limited test isn't a very good test. But the idea here is, like, the issue, or how I tested it previously is I pulled a mob and I taunted it like 2 or 3 times, and I just used taunt, and people weren't able to pull off of me. That's how I tested it previously. So it definitely did gain threat at one point. They may have changed it so now it no longer gains threat. I have not tested it in months. So we'll have to see. Taunt is for snap aggro. It's supposed to be for snap aggro, yes. That's just like EQ. Yeah, in EQ1 Warrior, that's exactly how it was. It was just for snap aggro. But at one point, I promise you, at one point, it was definitely more than just snap aggro. So we'll have to, like, I don't mind continuing to test this stuff. Health regen is broken. Can you confirm? I mean, probably is. I don't know. It might be. It's very possible that it's broken because they changed it in the patch. So, like, I mean, I just gained some. Well, let me not have a heal. I have regeneration though, so. Yeah, I've got regeneration currently. It could be broken because you're hungry. Yeah, top right corner, see if you're hungry, and it won't You won't be healing your health if you're hungry. HP changed, yeah. That is a bug. It's not seeing food in bags. Yeah, put it in your inventory, and your food and drink will work if you put it in your inventory. So if you're hungry, you do not regenerate health. If you're thirsty, you do not regenerate mana. Unless you have an active ability on you that regenerates those things. I'm hungry too? Yeah. I'm always hungry, Xander. You know that. Been pounding Little Debbie's all day. Game still says I'm hungry. I don't know what to tell you, Go. I don't know what to tell you. The heck is this? Is somebody training these? Here, I'm pulling this. I don't see anybody. It looks like somebody's just training those, so I'm pulling it. But yeah, I don't know how without taunt tanks are going to be holding aggro from DPS at all. So, well, yeah, by the way, look, we're looking at damage up here now. I'm seeing a lot more higher damage numbers from DPS though, but the problem with that, Brewski, is that tanks are not doing the same DPS as DPS classes, and they should not be. So they can't hold it from DPS. If a DPS is doing 100 DPS and a tank is only doing 70 DPS, it would always pull, right? But I've never had any issues holding threat. Like, ever had any issues holding threat. Okay. For the hybrid tanks, I think it's taunt, slams, and their smite. Well, they added in, supposedly, Nick added in their unique abilities for the hybrids now add threat. I don't know if that's true, if it actually made it into this patch or not, but supposedly he did. Does taunt have a combat log message when it's resisted? It does, yes. It does. I don't know where that message... Let me see. Let me see if it... So yeah, we can always test it with that too. Oh my goodness. Oh, little guy. Little ghost. Porbin of the patch. Porbin of the patch. Let's get this archer. Yeah, like, night classes need a little bit of love with that. There's no way, though, that, like, the fighter is doing more damage. People claim that it is, but I don't think that it is. Like, there's no possible way the fighter is doing that much damage. So let's see. I think it comes up under... Open up a new window. So if we do abilities... Mine, detrimental mine, beneficial mine. Let's see. There, you taunt a skeletal archer. So it shows when you actually taunt it with that yellow, right? So if we click that, you taunt a skeletal archer. But I believe there's a red text when it resists. So it would be under abilities. I wonder if that's under ability miss. If it shows a red text. Your static have DPS? Yeah. Yeah, we got DPS. So, like the Necromancer pet by itself. Just a base summoned Necromancer pet. There you go. It says ability misses. My taunt hasn't missed yet. It doesn't look like, though. But it can get resisted. I know it can get resisted. I've seen the resist before. I just don't know. But yeah, the it is under miss herb stalk. When taunt resists, it's under miss. Okay. So we'll see if it pops up. But yeah, like the base skeleton or necromancer skeleton pet does as much damage as my fighter. I've just noticed that if I just spam all of my abilities, not spamming taunt, I will lose aggro to the necromancer pet. But if I use taunt, then it does add. So, or it does. I don't lose threat. Melee DPS? Not on beta. I don't know. On live or on alpha. Sorry, on the alpha server, we had a monk. But I've also played with a lot of other people. I mean, I've played with Hoku. Hoku Shin's been in my party, and he's a Beastmaster, so melee DPS there. It just depends, though. Like, I mean, what melee DPS? You know, like there's so much variation to it. Is there threat by proximity in this game? There's threat based on if you're sitting. I think there is a little bit of proximity to it as well. I think there's also proximity to some extent. Like if Gith sits down and we have about equal threat, he will get hit. Is that wolf a pet or a transform? That wolf's a pet. That's Gith's. So that's a shaman pet. You have your HUD and a very interesting. I'll say that much. This is default. This HUD's basically default. Like I haven't changed it much. Like I've changed it a little bit, but I haven't changed it much. You assume it is also? Yeah, it might be. I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to watch for it, but I'm not 100% paying attention. Taunt. You taunt the skeleton. Taunt the skeleton. But it hasn't been resisted yet, but it can resist. It definitely can. But I don't know what the filter is. Just purely spitballing, but maybe pets have some sort of innate threat mod. Just have a low level elemental. I mean, it's possible, yeah. They also, like, pets do also have a taunt that they can use, a taunt ability. So, yeah. Time to give you issues holding threat? Yeah. I haven't had any issues holding threat so far. So far. That doesn't mean that it can't happen, but... Can monks duo pretty well with a druid or shaman? Yeah. Yeah, monks can duo great, especially with a shaman. Shaman is like one of the best duo classes in the game. Yeah, we're getting up to 53 damage. My damage definitely went up from yesterday. Damage absolutely 100% went up based on, I think, these new strength changes. So I have 131 strength currently, like buffed with the shaman and everything. And my damage, it looks like it went up to me. But yeah, like I don't know how a fighter or any of the hybrid tanks are going to be able to hold aggro if it's strictly based on DPS, because all tanks should be doing less damage than any DPS class. Always. They always should. Unless you have a super geared tank versus an under geared DPS, like a very under geared DPS. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Did it show up? Did it show up right here? I didn't see it yet. I hope they're showing up because I'm trying to set that up so that you all get credit, and I really do appreciate all the subs. It did show up. Awesome. Thank you so much. Gonna farm strength ring on the bottom left. Perfect. What the heck? What the heck is going on here? Yeah, I don't know where this came from. Oh, it was Brew aggroed him. I'm okay right now. I used the cooldown. Should be fine. Can't wait for open test later this month. 27th? It's 27th is going to be the open test. 27th, 28th, 29th. Sandstorms got nerfed. Yeah, they're shorter duration. Yeah, Houdini. Those sandstorms, I mean, I agree with some people. They were a bit long. They were a bit on the long side. I like the sandstorms. I think they're neat. But they literally would last 12 in-game hours. Like upwards of 12 in-game hours. That's a long time. It's 36 real-life minutes. Up to 36 real-life minutes. $15 minutes real life is the maximum. Yeah. And now I think it's up to like 15 minutes. I don't remember the exact durations on it, but yeah. But yeah, anyway, your ability misses. Okay, just says your ability misses in yellow. I wish that was red. Like if taunt gets resisted, I wish it would be in red. We can. I don't care. You can probably change in the filters. Well, yeah, you could change it in the filters. In the here, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, you could change it here. And probably come back over here too. Let me see if I can find it. It would be colors. So it would be under. Well, let's make a new color for it and see if we can do that. So it would be emote color, combat hit, combat miss, mine, ability miss, mine is yellow. Let's change this color to like a dark orange for now. Let's just do that. That should show up in this very easily when I miss. Yeah, I'll put one up in a few minutes because we still got 16 minutes, right? So we'll see what happens when it actually pops up. If it shows up. Because I don't think there's like a specific ability resist. Is there? Was that an option? Yeah, ability resist. Which is still yellow. Let me change that too. To like this dark orange color. Can I do combat ability resist mine? We'll do that. What does blind do to mobs? Blind is a weird spell. So blind will make the mob hit its closest target with melee. I believe. It's very strange. So like if, let's say Gith and Gith was, I'm sitting there fighting this, and Gith puts blind on this mob. It'll hit whoever's closer between me and like the wolf. So if I were to go max range, and then the wolf is like at minimum range like this, it should hit the wolf. But if I go minimum range and the wolf is at max range, it should hit me. But it's a weird thing that it does. Like it's kind of wonky, to be honest. Oh, there we go. Your ability misses. So we got to miss with whatever that ability was. I haven't seen a taunt resist yet. These are blue con, though, I think. Yeah, these are blue con mobs, so they may not... They may not resist much. Even though it says a moderate chance. So it says on here, moderately difficult. It's moderately difficult to resist. So I guess that would mean it also has a moderate chance to resist. I don't know. But anyway, what class offers the best support buffs? The Druid and the Enchanter are going to have the best buffs depending on what you're buffing. Enchanter has really good mana regen buffs. It's got a good strength buff, haste buff. The Shaman is going to have good melee buff, which is this buff right here. So it's got strength, and then it also has Berserker Frenzy, which increases strength, stamina, dexterity, and agility by 15. 15, that's huge. And then they also have a haste, which is this spell right here, Rapidity. So his rapidity is 30 to 35%. Trying to get solos here. I want solos. Give me solos. There's normally not two. You want to split a couple here? All right, I'm going to split two. Coming in right now. There's two pulls over here that we should be able to split. We shouldn't need them, though. I'm just not seeing many roamers. Nah, you don't need to pull solos, Brewski. It's fine. We're good. That fixed when I moved? What? That's weird. Yeah, well, I need to check this this taunt situation out. Like, you know, glad we tested it again. Well, I mean, I don't, so that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I want to check that taunt thing out some more and figure out what's up with that. Because that's going to be a big problem later on. Oh, yeah, I noticed that. You guys see the new root graphic? Esar just pointed that out. I didn't even think about it. But look at this. This is the new root graphic. Okay. I'll put one up after this. It's been a problem through the end of alpha. The threat thing for the knight classes, threat has definitely been an issue. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. It hasn't been much of an issue for me at all. Like, I haven't had any issue whatsoever, but I've also always spammed taunt. So it looks good. Yeah, yeah. The root looks really good. I like it. Good change. They attack closest person, or if they're ranged, they just stand there. Second part, fixed in beta. Yeah. I was running around with raid one-handers. At the end of the thing, yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm talking about my entire leveling from level 1 all the way up to 60. I never had... Oh, there you go! Resist a taunt. Decaying Drunk, resist your taunt. Right there. It does happen. Now we need to see if it is a resist or if it is considered a resist or a miss. I didn't have raid weapons until I was level 60. Like, I didn't have good weapons until 60. I mean, I had good weapons, but not raid weapons. Yeah, in my group we had a monk, we had it was elementalist, monk, necromancer, enchanter, druid. But yeah, never had threat issues at all. Like, even with a wizard, never had threat issues. Hey, what's going on, Trackham? How are you? Hope stealer. Oh my goodness. Why are you stealing hope from people? That ain't nice. Yeah, that's not good. Looking over patch notes and didn't see anything about charmed mobs in there. They definitely changed well, they didn't change the charmed mobs specifically. They increased, so charisma is now required, supposedly, for like the 4th or 5th or 6th time that they put it in the patch notes. Charisma is now required to charm mobs, but we don't know exactly how it's going to work. They keep saying that they're going to make charisma, they're going to leverage charisma more for charmed mobs. Supposedly it's in for this patch. Stealing Hope since 2000. Born in the original EQ. Nice, nice. Wait, you were born in 2000? We got a youngin' in the chat. But yeah, we'll have to see what happened, Trackham. Like, I still think that they need to nerf charm. Still think it's a problem. But we'll see if these changes that they're doing are gonna work or not. All right, I'm gonna change this. So we're gonna do ability of mine resist. Let's go with let's do this, and let's get rid of. We're gonna make it green text. If it resists, it'll be green, and if it misses, it'll be orange. Because I'm not sure which one of those is actually going to. Which one is showing up for the miss versus, because it should be a resist. I'm going to pull 2 again. Try to split these over here. Drink. Nah, we're not going to have a charm debate anymore. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on charm changes. all I care about right now is if they're looking at Charm and they're trying to make adjustments to it. That's literally all I care about. Because I think that Charm is broken and it's too strong. So the adjustments they made today, we'll see how Charisma is going to affect that. And if Charisma affects it enough, then it could be, it could solve the issue, right? It could completely solve the issue. Sorry, I'll shut up about Charm until it's still broken in early access. No. It's fine to talk about it. I don't mind talking about it. All right, your ability misses. Did this guy just... Oh, I was like, what the heck happened there? That was Esar. My ability misses. Okay. So it's not... My ability isn't getting resisted there. We'll have to see when it says taunt, though. But no, I don't mind talking about Charm. And I'll tell you, my thoughts on it, where we're at currently. But Charm is just... It's all over the place. They're going to have to make a lot of adjustments to it. It's stupidly good. Yeah, but they changed it today, so we'll see what happens. Feel bad for Charm classes, though. They're playing the game with a broken system, and when EA comes around, they'll have a hard time adjusting. I mean, I don't feel bad for them at all. I don't feel bad at all. Yeah. 2.5 months is both a long and short time. Yeah. They could fix it. They could change it. I mean, I just hope that they get a hold on it, soon. So we can see what happens with it. Because, I think a lot of people leveled up very quickly in this beta using Charm. And now, according to Nick, they're talking about opening up another beta server and letting more people come in and trying that whole, leveling process again to see how it affects it. Will people go crazy with that? I don't know. Are people going to really push super hard? We'll have to see. It's not like anything will be final in EA. They have a long way to go still. Yeah, they have a very long way to go with some things. It's just... nothing will be final in EA for sure. We're still going to see adjustments during EA. This game is never going to be done. It's an MMO. They always are adding new content in MMOs. And new things for the players to do and go after, new abilities, all of that. So it's just, you're constantly going to have to refine the gameplay. So we can't ever say it's going to be finished. But as long as they're, I think, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. Some people will think it's a little too slow. Some people think they're, nerfing too much. I don't know. But I mean, I think they're doing a good job. They're trying to do it right. Which is, it's an issue that I have with my real life stuff. Whenever you try to do something in real life and you do it, what? In real life, I try to make things perfect. I try to make things perfect rather than just do it, and I think that's kind of what they're doing now. Is they're trying to figure out perfection as they're going through it, and it's like, well, let's just make some changes and see what happens. That's my take on it. I would just like to see some changes. So some of these changes that they're doing now are hopefully in the right direction. They're vibe coding? Kinda, yeah. It's kind of... I guess where Herbstock is coming from, or Herbstock, I don't know where you're from. Nick puts things in the game without... Sometimes, I don't want to say every time, but Nick sometimes puts things in the game just based off of his personal feelings and his personal, you know, this is what it should be. He literally did it yesterday on his stream, live yesterday. And he even said, like, with the adjustments to the decrease in threat generation or threat that rogues have, he literally said, I'm doing this based on what I feel like. We're going to have to get the balance team or whatever to take a look at it, and he's going to have to take a look at it later. He literally said that in his chat, yes, or in his stream yesterday. So, you know, that's just something that Nick does sometimes. He adjusts things, and they're not necessarily right. They're not necessarily wrong. They're just kind of, here's what I think, and they need to be looked at. So, yeah, we'll have to see. They're basing a lot of it off of our feedback. They're basing a lot of it on feels. They're basing, you know, on various things. They're a small team. Vibe coding is going to happen. Yeah, vibe coding, it's going to happen to some extent. You gotta test things though, and I'm all for that. Like I think that's great. Throw something out there and test it. Let me go up here so I can get my rested bonus. Throw something out there and test it out. See how it works. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. Adjust it, etc. You know, like he removed Commune with the Honorable. Just completely removed it from the game. Well, let's see if it's good. Let's see if it's a good change or a bad change, and then we can always put it back in. There we go. We gotta resist. So taunt is a resist. It's like a spell. So it's the green one. So if we go back in here and we go to chat settings, ability miss or ability resist. So when an ability misses, it's orange. When an ability resists, it is green. So there you go. That's your difference. Bard Charm is level cap, which feels like a fair solution. Well, it's supposed to be level capped, but they didn't do that properly, it seems like. Our Bard, right here, Gammy, is able to, like, charm stuff that's, like, 8-10 levels higher than him. Like, stupid amounts higher. Here, let me go pull this bug. I don't know if these will come together. I'm going to test something here. All right, I just got one. I was curious if these bugs aggro with the ghost, and they do not. Four-time damage for Nunks. Please tell me if it's too much. I think that's fine. Good way. Yeah, well, the 4 times damage is also based on a dot that is a random proc chance. I don't think it's going to be too much, because it's often going to proc halfway through the fight, or maybe even near the end of the fight. So if it procs halfway through the fight, it's going to do very little damage. If it procs at the very beginning of a fight, it'll do more damage, clearly, because it's going to proc or dot throughout the fight. So, I don't know. I don't like the way that they have the monk fire stance in the game. It kind of feels bad for monks currently. Seems like MMOs are a daily problem for the life of the game. Something isn't right on a day. Oh yeah, that in MMOs, there's always going to be people that don't like something, and there's always going to be people that like it for the same reasons, right? People want to have commune with the honorable, and then there's people that don't want to have commune with the honorable in this game. Both. And it's like, well, which one is better? Well, who knows? You know, there's going to be people are going to debate that all day. The charm situation, people are going to debate that all day. How should they do it? You know, how strong should charm mobs be? How easy should it be to charm mobs? All of that is going to be debated over and over and over and over and over, and people are just going to have differences of opinions on it. You know, a lot of this stuff just comes down to opinions. It comes down to like the vibe coding thing or whatever. It comes down to feels. You know, it's everybody's going to look at it differently. Monk's always got a raw deal. Tough class to balance. It's a very tough class to balance because like monks are pulling a lot. So if a monk is pulling, it's not doing damage in your group. So then should you increase the damage to monks so that they overall are still contributing to the group in the same amount? But then if you increase their damage too much, then the DPS of a monk is too high for the ones that aren't pulling. So that becomes a whole other issue. You know, should pulling be considered a utility of monks? You know, if other classes can also, there's so much to consider. It's really hard, and I think that the devs have a very, very hard time ahead of them. My 23 bard can only charm mobs up to level 11 until I hit 24, and I can charm. Wait, what? 23 bard can only charm mobs up to level 11 until you hit 24, and you can upgrade your spell. Really? That's weird. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't know how it works. I think that they may have just bugged certain abilities with the bard charm. Certain ones are not working the way they're intended to, or so, I don't know what's going on with it, to be honest. I haven't played the bard. I can only base it off of what I'm told from Gammy or other bards. But yeah, those certain spells, maybe they have different level ranges. I don't know. But like, what level did you get that bard charm that you can charm up to level 11? Was that your level 8 spell? So it can do anything up to level 11 from your level 8 spell, and then you don't get an upgrade until 24? That seems like a really long time until you get an upgrade. So they should probably check into that. Kind of wish 1 to 20 was a little faster XP. Yeah, I don't agree. Then fall off after that, mostly since I get the feel for the classes around 15-ish. I think that XP level 1 to 20 is too fast. But again, right, Christopher, like that's just a difference of opinion. That doesn't necessarily make me right, and doesn't necessarily make you right. It's just a difference of opinion. And I think that's a big point in this game, is there is a lot of difference of opinion going around. And what I think and what you think are both valid. At least my opinion is that both of those are valid. Maybe Monk will feel better once the world and factions are fleshed out. Maybe, yeah. One of the biggest issues with EQ is Monk would go anywhere, be able to bypass some faction requirements. But why? Why were they able to do that? Is it because of feign death? They could just like run through and feign death? Oh, whoops. I didn't use my... I keep forgetting to use my ability. I need to use that more often. I just don't use it enough. From sneak and feign death, yeah. Well, supposedly bards are going to be able to change their faction by 10,000. Increase their faction with their target by 10,000. That's going to be huge. Like, they're not going to have to adjust their faction to do a lot of quests. That might be a little broken. Yeah, you're telling me. I don't remember what level I got the spell. Yeah, I don't. I think it's level 8 for charm on bards is the first charm, but I don't know for sure. But it's supposed to be able to charm a mob 4 levels higher than the charm spell. At least that's how it works for the charm abilities of a necromancer or an enchanter, or any of those. It's supposed to be like 4 levels higher. So if you get the spell at 48, it charms up to 52. And that, I think, is the highest charm spell in the game. Bard should have an easier time, but that seems outrageous. Yeah, well, the spell currently doesn't function in the game, Hope Stealer. but it says it increases your faction by 10,000. But it costs like 9,999 mana, so they literally can't do it because they don't have that much mana. Maybe it was just a bad camp. Took like 3 to 4 hours to go from 7 to 9. From 7 to 9? Really? Wow, that seems slow. Yeah, they could just be placeholder values. We're not 100% sure. Right. But it's a spell in the game that they will be able to increase their faction. So 100% could be placeholder values, right? That's another reason why I just don't talk about it too much, because a lot of this stuff is placeholder. You know, it's very, very much placeholder. For 10,000 damage for impossible. Yeah, so there's the wizard spell, the gravity flux. I think is like 9,999 mana, because they're not sure. I think what they're gonna do with that spell. Then there's the Druid resurrection, the animal resurrection spell from Druids. That's 9,999 mana. So there's a couple of those. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with some of this stuff. You know, a lot of this stuff is just wait and see. So they're making adjustments, which is good. Whoops. They're making adjustments, which I think are a very good thing. I think Charm needs to continue to be looked at. Again, we'll test it today and see where it goes. We'll try to get Stein in our group and have him charm some stuff and just see how it feels. I don't know what his charisma is, but stacking charisma, getting items from, you know, using charisma, that's going to be the biggest factor, I think, is are these classes like the Enchanter and classes that are using charisma, are they gaining charisma through everyday items? And are those items that they're getting high in charisma? We're aware of several issues related to inventory, banking, and looting. Your corpse, thanks. Okay, so they're aware of those issues. Cool. You know, will these classes be able to get wisdom and intelligence as well as charisma on all of these items? Because if the best items in the game have very high intelligence and very high charisma, that's a balance issue, because they're giving too much of both of those things, basically allowing them to do both. You know, if you want to charm, I think you should have to go after charisma specifically and like really focus on raising your charisma at the detriment of a different ability or different stat. So like maybe you don't have nearly as much mana regen, or you don't have, you know, you'll get plus 10 charisma on an item, but only plus 2 or 3 intelligence. Or you can get an item that has, you know, plus 10 intelligence with 0 charisma. You know, like if there's choices to be made, then itemization will fix the problem. If it's just that every item for spellcasters has intelligence and charisma, it doesn't really fix the problem. So we'll have to see how itemization actually affects things. They're trying to lean into itemization more, which is what a big change was today. They're trying to lean into that more. So anything that increases your stamina now increases your health pool more. Anything that increases more than it did before. So like level doesn't increase it as much. Every level that you go up doesn't increase it as much. And now stamina is more important. Regarding itemization, playing a role, yeah. So we'll have to see. Charm is pretty bad. Level 50 Druid Charm, green mob. Only keeps a charm for less than 30 seconds. Good. That's where, I mean, that's what it should be if you don't have enough charisma, right? If you have really high charisma and it lasts longer, cool. Then that works out. Give me 1 second after this one. I need to check on fam. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I like the idea of needing charisma for charm at the cost of int. Should be a fair trade. Yeah, exactly. I think it needs to be a fair like trade if they're going to do that. Absolutely. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back in just a minute. Let me use the restroom and check in with the fam. I'm back. Okay. Wizard changes are here too. So much to play with today. Yeah, a lot of stuff to change, or a lot of stuff to mess with. The wizard changes, I'm curious how those are going to be for those that have a wizard. I would love to hear your input on that. I don't have a wizard that's easily accessible on the beta. So I'm not going to be able to test those changes personally. You know if charm mobs use the charmer's stats, or do they use their own? They use their own stats. Nick did say something about itemization for pets, but I don't know if that just means that like summoning items to give to them, like summoning weapons, or if they're maybe even add in, you know, armor and stuff to give to them. He didn't really give a lot of detail there, but yeah, we'll have to see. I think it's more like using an elementalist to summon proc weapons, give those to a pet. I think is really more the line that he's looking at there. Is Enchanter the only mana healing battery class? No, Necromancers can also do that. I think charm spells should be level capped. Charisma should affect how long the mob is charmed for, up to the max. My charisma is high, but my intelligence is trash. Yeah, exactly. I think that I would agree with that. You know, like having, if you want to go and charm mobs and you want to do that, and that's the way that you want to play your character, and you gear for that, then that's okay. The problem up to this point has been that you don't need gear at all. You could literally be pretty much naked as a spellcaster and charm mobs and get all the way to level 60 solo very easily. So with these itemization changes, hopefully we start seeing some of that difference. You know, the intelligence being more of a factor for your mana pool is going to factor in now, because you're going to have way less mana if you don't gear up your character. And then also your charisma, if it's on the low end, you're not going to be able to charm a mob as long, or maybe it's just going to, I don't know how that's going to factor. I'm assuming it's going to break more often if you don't have high charisma. And I think the higher level you get, the more charisma you should have. So, you know, if you're like a level 10 character with 100 charisma, then yeah, you should be able to charm a mob and it lasts for a long time. But if you're, you know, level 50 with like 20 charisma, it should break almost instantly. So I'm hoping that's the direction that they're going with it. That would be really nice if that is the direction they're going with it. And, you know, I would probably be happy with that as long as it's fair. So we'd have to see what happens. Any word on which races get Ultra Vision? Deep races. Yeah, the deep races look like they're going to get Ultra Vision. Maybe even Trolls. I don't know. But probably the deep races. But I definitely feel like we're doing more damage. We do 2 Easter. Okay. Ink. Oh my goodness. Did I run out of... I keep fighting not near my campfire. And I'm not getting the rested buff. Like a dum-dum. But yeah, I mean, so far the changes to the strength seems to have helped. I think, maybe. At least with melee DPS some. But they also increased, supposedly, they increased armor class on mobs. So, like, TTK is supposed to have gone up with the armor class increase. But I also have very high strength. You know, like, I've got pretty high strength for this level at 126 with my current buffs. So we'd have to keep an eye on it. 84, 46. I mean, these are, I'm doing pretty well. I wonder if we're taking less damage, because with the changes, I don't know how that affects. I don't know if that affects monsters at all. Combat hits me. Taking 42. $76. I'm curious, like, if these enemies are going to be hitting, like, because that's how much they're hitting me with my AC, but how much are they going to be hitting each other with their AC values, you know? Do you notice some changes on the stats influence? Yeah, there's been some changes. Do shields add a negligible amount of survivability to tanks? Right now they do, yeah. They need to add more to shields. That's something that Nick said he's going to be working on, you know, hashtag soon, or soon trademark or whatever. Supposedly that is coming. I don't like having all these dang windows open. It drives me nuts. Oh, shoot. Can I thread this needle without aggroing these mobs? Nice. Look at that. That's some pro-level skill right there, baby. Soon. Yeah, exactly. He is... Nick has said soon about the shield abilities for a while. So we'll see when those get in. He also needs to get in poisons for rogues. We did finally get, apparently today, the staff abilities for the wizards. So that is finally in. So hopefully we can move on from that. Assuming they work and they're good. I think there needs to be a rework to Elementalist still. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm a swordboard paladin. Like take a brunt of damage. Yeah, the shield. I think what he wants to do is add defensive abilities to shield. I think. I'm going to put these down at the bottom because they're bothering me at the top of the screen. Like they're really annoying me. So I'm going to put them down at the bottom. Put it over your character model. It's wasted space. I mean, I could, yeah. It's fine. Hope shields offer more defense instead of just bashing mobs. Well, they do add more AC. Like shield AC values are pretty high. So we'll just have to see what they do with armor class values. Like how much armor class really matters. perfect UI is one that I can map across my character model. You're talking about just like putting them here, like that? Yeah, you can do that, I guess. Make it transparent, make it smaller, and just literally have it all list right here. Yeah, that's possible, but whatever. I'll put it down at the bottom. Normally, I don't have all this stuff open, but people ask for it, so. And we've been kind of talking about it. So I don't mind having it up, but in my normal gameplay, I would just close all those chat windows. AC lives matter, yeah. Good to show the new numbers. Yeah, that's really the only reason I have it up today, is just to see some of the new numbers. But it looks like overall I'm doing more damage. Did my... Oh, we got to put these buffs back up now too. But you can definitely see a drop in my damage. So like I'm doing a high of 43. Like I don't know if you guys are watching the damage that round, but this is going to increase my deep or my so that goes up to another 18 strength from these two buffs. I believe it's 18 strength. So now see if my damage goes up more. Yeah, there's the 50 again. So yeah, I mean it's going up a decent amount. You can definitely tell the difference when you add in strength. It almost seems like I don't know, like I don't know how much damage it's actually doing. Because that 18 strength added like 8 damage to my high end, it seems like. Because I was doing like 42-ish or so, and now I'm doing 50 on the high end on normal attacks. What's today? Is today Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. That's actually perfect because I'm going to have to leave today earlier than I would normally leave. I've got some things I got to do today. But Sean probably will be streaming around 2 o'clock today when I should have to leave. So I think he said he was going to stream today. So that will work out swimmingly. And then I may or may not stream later tonight, but we'll definitely test out the charming later this evening. My hope is that a lot of these people that are charming, constantly charming and leveling, they haven't geared up for charisma, and then like we'll see a drastic difference in that. Is 50 max level? What are your thoughts on Druid? Get a main one. 60 is the max level. Hang on one second. Um. 60 is the max level. Druids are very good. They're very versatile. They're, they're great healers. Not the best healers, but they can heal a party very well. They can solo. They can push out some DPS if they really want to, but they are not a DPS class. They can quad kite. You know, they're pretty good. They're in a really good spot. I don't suspect we're going to see many changes to the Druid class specifically. Does the camp you're in have a name spawn? No, we're just doing XP camp right now. There are some named that are like over in this tower. There's named that are up in this tower and just over in this area. There's a bunch of named in this area, but we're not pulling any named right now. Because we're just kind of chilling, taking it easy. Gamey right now is AFK. Gith right here is working. So we're just kind of trying to take it slow. We don't want to do stuff that's going to get us killed. Hunt any giants yet? Yeah. They're still in development. Can't wait to see Fire Giant Dungeon. Yeah, there's giants. I mean, there's a giant walking around. There's one right there. Sand Giant. On the alpha, before we came over here to the beta, we would fight giants all the time. There's really cool looking... oh, that's a double mob. Wailing Winch. Can I do a Wailing Winch? Yeah, we don't need to pull it. We'll pull this. The fire giants look really cool. They have like fiery red beards and they glow at night. So like when it's dark in their surroundings, their beards glow. Looks really cool. Hey, won't be able to dip in till later today. How did the changes feel? I'm sure you've been asked 20 times already. So far, some of the changes are good. The ones that we've been able to test. So like the adjustments to your stats. It looks like I'm about the exact same amount of health that I had previously with buffs. I think I'm a little bit lower without shaman buffs. So like just with my gear, I'm a little bit lower on my stats. But then once I got the buffs from the shaman and I'm in my, normal, it's about the same. Like 2 or 3 health difference. So as far as stamina is concerned, I think that's an overall good change. It makes itemization more important. And I think itemization needs to be more important in this game. I don't feel like it was nearly important enough, especially for int casters. We still haven't tested out the charm, charisma, all that stuff. I haven't been able to test that because I don't have a charm class. But I will be testing that later with a necromancer, most likely. I'll ask Stein to do some testing on that if he doesn't mind. The strength changes feel pretty good. We're now doing a little bit more damage than I did previously because my strength is high. Is fairly. I would say my strength is very high for this level. And the gear that I currently have, so we're good there. But overall, it's feeling pretty good. Patch is feeling pretty good so far. There's a lot of bugs with this patch, though. So hopefully they get that working. The inventory bugs right now. Some pretty bad inventory bug that's going on. So, yeah. Do you think Shaman or Shadow Knight Shaman is going to be a top tier duo akin to EQ? I mean, yeah, it's a really good duo for sure. Okay. I mean, any melee class, any tank with a Shaman is good. Really, any melee class with a Shaman is good. So, the corpse bank bug is horrifying. Trent sorted me out at least. Yeah, W for Trent. Yeah, the if you die right now, supposedly, I haven't had it happen to me yet, so. But if you die right now, apparently the entirety of your bank goes to your corpse. Yikes. So that's going to cause a lot of petitions today, I think. You should test dying. No thanks, Burl. No thanks. Dying in this game is brutal. I don't want to deal with it. I wish Gammy would come back and not just sing songs for us. I mean, singing the song helps, but it's not really helping that much. It's just giving Gift mana, and he's got full mana. Well, not full mana, but he's fine on mana. It'd be nice if he was here. Not a real gamer? Yeah. You should test if you want a heart palpitation, right? I don't want to deal with that. Because not only that, but then you would die. Your corpse has all your stuff on it. It's just kind of annoying. Here, we'll kill this giant just so you guys can see how the giants function. Giants are kind of annoying. You got to be kind of close to them. Like, I don't like them as a melee because, like, you got to be, you know, kind of up in their junk. And I don't know. But you can see their damage that they're doing down here. People say that giants hit harder. I don't think they do. They hit the same as any other mob. But this is weird. You know? Luckily they got some pants on. Very, very fortunate for that. You're just fighting some legs? Yeah. Might as well just be a leg monster. We could get some, like, Christmas Story leg lamp going on here. You see ZBrushed artwork? That is definitely ZBrushed artwork right there. 100%. Either ZBrushed or Zukin. One of the two of them definitely made some hairy legs. I think it's Zukin likes to do the hair. I think he does a lot of, like, the body hair on artwork. Give them tattoos. They might have some tattoos on stuff. I've heard people ask for tattoos, like character tattoos, as like accessories on your character, at character creation. They do have an accessory toggle that you can, you know, accessorize. I think it's just for like moles or scars or something right now. But yeah. Fighters not even sneezed out in the patch notes. They weren't, no. But fighters are in an okay place, but the strength changes definitely affect fighters because they're like almost 100. Well, they are 100% based on physical damage, whereas the other three classes have other abilities that they do. So the strength changes definitely affected that. I grouped with an Inquisitor yet? I don't group with Inquisitors, no, because I play a tank. So 2 tanks in a group is just not really worth it. But I played an Inquisitor. The concept of hybrid fighter and Chander is crazy combo. It is a very good combo. It's very strong. You know, people underestimate the Inquisitor. It's a very good class. But a lot of low-level Inquisitors, people don't get it because they're low-level. You're not fighting a lot of caster mobs, so you're not really seeing the benefit of having an Inquisitor. But once you get into higher levels, you really see the benefit. You don't even care about Dex? No, Dex matters. But here, we'll do this. This is my damage right here. Combat, ability, or not ability, melee, miss, mine. So you'll see here how often I miss versus how often I hit. So this is why dexterity doesn't matter that much, is because you don't miss a lot. If they made it to where you miss more often and you need more dexterity, then yes, having more dexterity would be nice. But my 50 dexterity is enough to where I hit, you know, most of the time. So it's not really a big deal. Now, if you're fighting higher level enemies, dexterity is going to matter more. It'll absolutely matter more because you're going to be missing more often on those enemies. So dexterity will increase your hit chance. But yeah, like I just don't see a reason to really stack too much dexterity at the moment. Now, when it comes to, you know, doing raid bosses and all that, then yeah, dexterity is probably going to make a significant difference. But again, for me, since I'm a tank, I don't really care to... Like, I only care about hitting enough to be able to maintain threat. That's really all that matters. So as long as they have tools in place for a tank to maintain threat without having to do a ton of damage and hit consistently, then it won't really matter. How is the warrior built different versus old EverQuest? They're basically the same, except for you actually have abilities now. So I have this entire ability bar over here. But other than that, they're basically the same. Warriors in... So, fighters in this game versus warriors in EQ back in like 1999 EQ, it's the abilities that are different. Warriors now in live have so many abilities because of AA points and just as they've changed the warrior over time. They're very similar. But back in the old days, it was just turn on auto attack, hit taunt, and hit kick, and that was pretty much all you did. Now you actually have a lot more abilities. So they're quite a bit different. Guildmate isn't happy with the mana burn line on the Inquisitor. Uh-oh, why is that? I'll read the rest of that in a second. Let me pull this mob. Increase the mana cost by 500%. Wow. That's a lot. That is definitely a lot. The thing is, though, like, I think they did that because Inquisitors could burn the mana of an enemy extremely quickly and extremely easily because enemies don't have that much mana. So maybe as they adjust the mana pool of the enemies, they're going to adjust how much it costs for Inquisitors. I don't know. But that might be the reason why. I mean, I can't really give you a reason because I don't know. I played Inquisitor. It's sick. You just have to work with your spells, spell skills, or... Yeah, exactly. The Inquisitors are really good. I'm only level 7 now, though. Inquisitor ability to charm a pet is nuts. I can't wait to get level 8. So yeah, they can charm a pet every 20 minutes. They have a 60-second, unresistible, guaranteed charm for 60 seconds. That's huge. That's absolutely massive. Because of how strong charm is. And if it doesn't break for 60 seconds, huge. Yeah, and spam sense heading. Yes, that's another thing that warriors would do. I could be too worried about targeting and mezzing ads that you'll lose threat on a primary target and get the healer clapped. Yeah. Yeah. That could definitely happen. That's a good PvP change, I think. Which one is a good PvP change? A lot of talk about PvP server, about how the Inquisitor might be OP for PvP. Oh, with burning their mana? Maybe, yeah. But, I mean, that's the thing about this game. That's why I say you probably don't want a PvP in this game. We are aware of several issues related to inventory. Corpse. Yeah, stop petitioning is what they're saying. Stop letting us know. We know about the issues. No, I mean, definitely let them know, but... Alright, let's see if this winch... It does have... It's got a mana bar, so I don't know what it actually casts. We'll find out. But yeah, so what I say about PvP in this game is it's never going to be fair and it's never going to be balanced. Ever. It will not happen because of the way that they make these classes. Like, you have classes that are just going to be better in PvP, and you have classes that are just going to be better in PvE. It's just the way it is. I don't recommend people play this game on the PvP server unless you are a hardcore PvP player. Either that or you're part of a large group and you only play with that group at all times. You're going to get ganked. You're going to get griefed. There's going to be issues with PvP. And your class will not be balanced around the other classes. Your class is just going to have its abilities and it's just going to be super strong. Now, they might try to balance it a little bit, but ultimately, certain classes are just going to dominate the PvP scene. Ranger big cooldown spell is 1 hour and in its bonus offense and physical damage increase 30 seconds. Don't use it. Suggests to be on the hotbar. Yeah, I think that Nick wants to put those on the hotbar. Like those really long cooldown abilities. He's talking about moving to the hotbar. Like I've got one right here. This is on a 20-minute cooldown. It's worth using, but it's on a 20-minute cooldown. So, you know, I don't use it a lot. And sometimes I don't even want to put it on my bar. Let's go pull another mob because that Death Knight is going to be annoying. We'll pull that mob here in a second. We should have time. Hopefully I have time to we don't have to split it again. Welcome, Raiders, but charity. Okay. Are we doing a charity for booties? That's an interesting one. Everyone just wants to see my new petition animation. And is that what it is? Oh, shoot. Where did this come from? I don't know how I pulled that many. We should probably just zone these or root them all in camp or something. They're all on you right now from the heal. I have no idea how we got that many. Can you root them? Yeah. Alright, I got the archer on me. It's faster to run to zone this way, Isar. No, it's not. Do you want to try to root him or just zone it? Okay. Here, I'll DPS down this archer. There, you got them all rooted. Can you camp? I won't be able to. I won't be able to with the archer, but it's fine. You go ahead and. All right, I'll try. It's still hitting me. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to camp. It's fine. Like it literally, the archer kept hitting me. Yeah, we're gonna have to zone it. Just zone it. Here, just follow me. I'll run to zone. Yeah, I don't know how we got 4 there. That was weird. I hit an archer, and I guess it just took forever to get to me. All right, sorry about that. I hope they don't balance around PvP as well. Yeah, I think the PvP people, the people that want to play PvP like it was back in EverQuest, way back in the day, they don't want to see that balance. They like it to be very imbalanced. I don't know if he's going to pull aggro or not, though, is he? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see in a second. He may or may not. Someone said hotbar only because it's an ability and uses hard to convert. That or something. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but yeah, they're looking at making those changes. So they're putting some of the longer cooldowns on the hotbar. We could try. I mean, we might be far enough. All right, I'll camp too. We'll see if they come over this ridge. Lunchtime for me. Figured I'd bring a small pile of M&M streams to another. Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. No rump left behind. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I like a little booty charity. Why not? In theory, they could tweak numbers, percentages for PvE, PvE. Yeah, they can definitely do that. Yeah, I got out too. I'm going to get back in, hopefully check on Gam. Okay, well, somebody's going to have to log him in. I didn't want to jump because I had a Gith on autofollow. So I didn't want to jump. If you jump, it can break autofollow. It's kind of annoying. Well, then he's gonna die. I mean, got a dog on you. And I'll try to kill him. Okay. Damage higher after the patch? Yeah, it's a little bit higher, but I have very high strength. Like I've got some decent strength gear, you know, plus buffs and everything. So my damage overall is higher. If you have not geared up and you're just like low on gear, then yeah, it's not gonna be great. I guess logging out now, I guess logging out kicks you out of your group now. It didn't before. Your range is like 70% strength, 30% dex. I'm not going to get out. 10 seconds. This archer's almost here. I'm out. All right. Cool. Made it out. Report that bug. Hate getting kicked. Group kicked on logout. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a bug. All right. Yeah, I see the mobs here. They're way back right now, so. I mean, I could try to pull like one off and try to kill it, but. You want to try to kill one or what? All right, I'll start killing one. Why don't my sound? There we go. Sound was gone. I'm not gonna be able to kill this without. Oh, there you go. You got a heal off on me. I'm still taking a lot of damage though. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it'll break. Try to sit or something. This is almost done. All right, I'm on the archer. I want to play this, but I just don't know I can play like needs to be done. Like, what do you mean? You don't know if you can play it the way that the game is meant to be played? Oop, this one warped. Yeah, Archer's almost dead. right, just sit down. I'll grab whatever comes towards us. 1 zinc. I mean, I can kite them around, is what I'm saying, while you med. Yeah, I'll taunt it. I got it. Just med. I can kite him. It's not a big deal. Yeah, just let me know when, and you can root one of these, and I'll tank the other one. Yeah, it's a little bit of a multiplayer game there, Milos. All right. Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, no worries. Glad to help. Let's see. I like old school EQ. Was part of #1 guild server for years. 3 a.m. phone calls, kill dragons. Just don't have the ability to play 8 hours a day. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to play this game that way. Of course, there are going to be people that want to play that way. That's the way I like to play these games. I love, you know, I like to be on these games and play these games a bunch. Like, but not everybody has the time to do that, you know. But that doesn't mean that these games shouldn't be made. You know, like there's, yeah. But you know, there's still people out there that want to play these games like that. And they want that kind of gameplay. So, you know, I'm all for it. I'm really all for it. Not saying at all. Just wish I could play like that. Yeah, you don't have to though. There's a lot of stuff you can do in this game. You can play it kind of casually. I wouldn't play it like crazy casually, but you could definitely play it kind of casually. Imagine not playing this game until 2 a.m. and barely functioning at work in the morning, right? I mean, jeez. There's definitely still fun to be had if you don't have copious amounts of time. The journey's still fun. Yeah, actually, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I like the in-game content. I like doing raids. I like all that kind of stuff. But, you know, there's still time to do other things. Good morning, John. How you doing, bud? Report that bug. Oh, the group kick out bug? Yeah. For me, the most memorable experience I had in EQ MMOs, realizing that the gods weren't just flavors, they actually existed. Yeah, I hope they do something like that in this game. I would like to see that. I'll have to leave a little after 2 today for some things that I gotta do. And then I'll be back for a few hours, and I'll probably be gone for dinner as well. Yeah, I'll be gone for like an hour or so, from like a little after 2 to probably like 3-ish. Yeah, that'll be like 6 o'clock or so, 5:30 or so. I remember Kazakh Thule showing up in the Lake of Ill Omen and sniping people. Yeah, that kind of stuff is really cool. I hope they do stuff like that in this game. I know they're planning on doing some like GM events, which we'll have to see how they do that. One thing about this game that I have noticed, and I don't know what their plan is for it, is their timing of things and having things happen at certain times of real life day. And I hope that they look into that a little bit more, because up to this point, it's all been kind of based on East Coast server time or East Coast time. You know, and everything happens at prime time East Coast. And it's like, that's not really fair to people that aren't East. I mean, I play East Coast, so it works out really well for me. But it's not really fair to the people that aren't East Coast. But like, for example, the earthquakes that happen in the game, which are when raid mobs spawn throughout the entire game, they seem to always happen around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern. So prime time Eastern. Well, what about people that live on the West Coast or live in EU or Oceanic or, you know, anywhere else in the world? They're going to have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do raid bosses. So maybe we should consider that. And then also events. If they do GM events, it's going to be based on when their GMs are available to do those events. And if those GMs are only available to do those at prime time, their time, you know, then, you know, it may not work out. But that's just something that I've noticed. The only reason I bring this up is because Nick did talk about it yesterday in his stream, saying that raids, the way they currently work, he wants to continue doing that. And I don't think that's a great idea. I think that's a very bad idea, because raids right now, like I said, spawn at prime time Eastern. So people that are not... Yeah, we might need to crouch under here to get rested again. So yeah, we just have to see what happens with that. Like, we'll have to see. I'm sure they're considering that stuff, but I don't know that they're necessarily thinking about it, right? Like, it's probably a consideration kind of in the back of their mind, but I don't think they're actively thinking about it when they're like, oh, well, let's do this event now, or let's take the servers down, bring the servers up at certain times, etc. You know, probably should be considering those a little bit more. Patiently waiting for your DPS overview video. You're planning to split between melee and range. What I'm going to do now, Doc, Mr. Doc, is I'm looking at... I can't even get in here anymore. There we go. Sheltered right here. What I'm planning on doing is a breakdown of every class probably sometime in May. So right now, we're not doing it because there's a lot of changes coming to the game. A lot of balance changes that are coming. Hopefully we have more of those in May. And then I'm going to try to do a breakdown before early access actually launches. And we'll talk about each individual class. And we'll look at their abilities. We'll talk about what they do well, what they don't do well, all of that. I'll even do probably a breakdown of the fighters or the tanks and healers as well at that time. Again, another one, because they're currently changing. They've already changed from my previous breakdown, and that's part of the thing, right? Like, I don't want to give out a bunch of bad information, so we're kind of just waiting. Hey, I'm trying to reply to people. All right. Oh, there's a post on Reddit. Charm is ruining the game 3 hours ago. Yep. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna try to pull. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's a post on Reddit literally saying Charm is ruining the game from 3 hours ago. And, you know, I guess they haven't looked at the most recent patch notes. But I agree. Charm has ruined a lot of this beta. It's ruined a lot of the testing that they've done. It's ruined a lot of the balancing that they've done. They've got to get that under control and then go back and test some other things, right? It's a multifaceted issue that we keep talking about. Really ruins my gaming experience watching someone else play the game. Nice. Need more gamma? Uh-oh. Is it too dark again? Whoops. Clicked on the wrong thing. Options. Gamma. There you go. What a new and original Reddit post. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of information there, but they did put an edit down at the bottom that said something like, edit. It looks like it was updated or patched or something today, so... These are all going to be things that are going to be changing throughout beta, which is partly why I'm not doing these big overview videos. Sounds like a plan. So I'm so torn on what I want to start. Narrowed it down to support a DPS. Gotcha. Oh, it doesn't change you to a bear now? Huh, that's weird. Yeah, definitely use that. He actually said yesterday about the bear form that he wants to make it a situational thing. So I don't know how they're going to change it. No, he wants to... No, it's not right now. He wants to make it a situational thing. So... yeah, we'll just have to see how they change that. Did they add combat music? Was that combat music when I started that pull? Anybody else hear that? So they locked with Inquisitor not having any other races until post E8. They are right now done, yeah. They are done with the Inquisitor races. Haha. No, they're going to be adding in the deep races like deep elves, deep dwarves, deep gnomes post early access launch. And they will, some of those will be Inquisitors, or be able to be Inquisitors. So yeah, right now it's going to be human only for Inquisitors. Alright. Oh, we saved gamey, so it's all good. Oh, that's what it was. That sound that I heard was the follow, I think. I'm not used to that sound because I just added in new things that pop up, so that's what it is. That just kind of like freaked me out. Server's coming down in 10 minutes. Oh, we're going to get a patch. We're going to get a fix. Hopefully. Get some things fixed. What zone is this? We are in Glass Flats. Currently. Inventory bug fix? Yeah. Hopefully that's the fix that's coming. Has anyone done EQ Atlas site yet? No, the closest thing we're going to have is like, is a wiki. So there is a wiki out there. But yeah, as far as EQ Atlas, nothing like that. So one thing I wish they had caved is a map. Yeah. I don't know. I'm torn on it. One thing I don't like, or I like that they don't have a map. One reason I like that they don't have a map is because in these kind of games, you often have the map up while you're just running around. You're not looking at the game. You're not like, you know, looking around at the at what's around you. You're just kind of running through the game with the map open on your screen. So that's one reason I like it. They are going to be adding maps to the game through probably some sort of cartography type system where you're going to like open your inventory, you're going to right click on a map, like an actual in-game item, right click on that, and it's going to open up a map of the area that you're in, but it would not be a GPS map. So we'll have to see how they change that going forward, but yeah, they don't want an actual map. But I have heard, and hopefully they're getting I guess a grip is the word for it. I don't know. They're fixing it, which they have fixed it once, but like people are making maps, like what are they called? Like cheats, map hacks, I guess. So that's. I think that might be another reason. Like, we can't even use /LOC to get your location. Like, they don't even want you having that information. So they're kind of, you know, they're cracking down on that pretty hard. What if they made it where you have an open map, you can't move? They could do that, yeah, maybe. Exactly, not having the map makes you look around. Yeah, it makes you look around in the game and actually, you know, see your surroundings. Have the wiki up for finding specifics. Yep. Yeah. So if you want to have a map, open up another computer or your phone or something and look at the map that way. I mean, people are probably going to do that either way. 5 minutes. I wonder how long they're going to be down for. Let me make sure this guy, he's coming. I'm assuming it's just going to be like a down patch right back up. I have to leave it a little after, like in an hour, and I'll be gone for an hour or so. We probably won't be doing much for that hour. Andy, you gotta test charm today. No, it's gonna require charisma now. Supposedly, it's gonna require charisma now. What is your charisma? Okay, yeah, you may not be able to charm very well. Is your character's surname McGriddle? Criddle McGriddle? No, normally I do Craddle. It's normally Criddle Craddle, but what? Charm all the time. You did. You did the other day. You were just sitting over here charming. So they don't all look the same? No, the Dread Knights look different. Dread Knights actually have armor on. Two minutes. All right, we'll kill this one and then wait. Oh, is that Coffee over there? Yeah. Do you see Coffee and his donkey issues this morning? Coffee had donkeys everywhere. It was hilarious. Like literally everywhere he walked, it was just rows of donkeys. Other people had donkey issues. There's a it's the same guy, Burl. The other posts are literally, it was all Coffee on his donkey. Like, that's what's funny about it. It's someone else? Wait, you're talking about the post, right? Like this is Coffee. Are there more donkey issues that started popping up? Like, there's my donkey problem. Refresh. I shouldn't need to refresh it. What? Like that? Oh, this one right here. Pink Pony Club. Oh, yep. There's another guy in there. I think it's people that are riding the donkeys. I think that's what it is if you're riding it. Look at that one. Wow. That's lots of donkeys. Celestial Fury stack. Let's see. Why did the Celestial Fury not stack from different stances? Say wind proc, going, then switch to water. I'm not sure on that one. That's weird. I'm curious how people are doing with Charm, though. Yeah. I mean, nothing like, I mean, it's not good nor bad. So your intelligence now means more than your level does. So like, you're going to want a gear for intelligence. It's going to give you more mana. Announcements, Kaz, on Discord. And then charisma now is going to be required for charm, but they've said that many times, so we'll have to see how it actually works. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything that's going to change for you on the Necro. Yeah, Wizard got their stabs in now, so we'll have to see how those work. Stacking charisma, got my 7 charisma ears, measure stick, and captain's ring. Yeah. Charm's cooked, maybe. Can't even charm a blue. Uh oh. Have you been trying to charm a little bit? Yeah, so it's going to go up to 5, and it's going to be a one-time thing when it procs, which is not going to be very often. Yeah, it's not going to... Yeah, well, the heal one's okay because it does a lot more heal. Yeah. Sounds like they fixed charm. I wouldn't say fixed, but they've adjusted it some more, which is a good change. So like now you're going to have to stack charisma. Now we're going to have to look at how much charisma do you need to stack to be able to maintain charm on what level of mobs. So it all depends on how it works. Like the wording just says you just need to have more charisma. But they've said that in the past multiple times. So we'll go look at the patch notes while we're waiting here. I don't know if we're actually going to get a patch or not, though. So yeah, basically the way that it works is somewhere up here. Bug fixes. Where's that at? Is that under balance? I think it's under balance. So yeah, new charm, fear, and pacify break logic. Charisma is more important. So it is more important. So we need to define more, right? Like how much is more important? If it's significantly more important, then that's a good thing, I think. And if you have to stack charisma based on the level of the enemy, based on the level of what you're trying to do, that's good. Like at low level, charisma could be relatively low and you should be able to charm mobs. But as you get higher level, the higher level mobs, should be more. The thing is, though, let's say you have 200 charisma on your level 60 enchanter, can you then go charm like a blue mob and it lasts for 20 minutes? Then we're getting into territory of maybe it's not too strong. So we'll have to see how it plays. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know. But it's a good direction. A friend has. He's like, it's done for. Nice. We just have to stack charisma. Yeah, you got to stack charisma a lot. Can you make the follower thing bigger? You can't read it? Yeah, I can make it bigger. But if I make it too much bigger, then it's going to like cover up. There, I made it a little bit bigger. I made it bigger. I don't know how big it's going to be. I thought the new break logic was also introduced. A break chance. So yeah, it's supposed to break when the mob is hit, but that's for Bard, I think, specifically. It allows you to log in if you don't have access to the beta. He's trying to be silly. It does not affect you in any way. So not only do you need more charisma, but when soloing or using it as a tank, the mob breaks, rolls on a fail. Yes, it will do that. So if you're using it as a tank, which I think, is another thing. Like, I don't know. I think these are all good changes. So we have to see how they actually play out. This one right here, health regeneration now works like mana regeneration and will consider amount of time sitting within a tick. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, do you have to be sitting down to gain mana or health regen? So, like, if you're not, I don't know. I don't know how it affects anything. Yeah, I think we're gonna. This might be a while for this patch. I don't know. Sandstorm's nerfed. Yeah, Sandstorm is another big one that was nerfed. Yeah, the shortened duration from 2 to 4 hours in game, which means it's only wow, 6 to 12 minutes, as opposed to 8 to 16 hours. 16 hours in game is like 40 minutes. It's an insane amount of time. Yeah, this was crazy. Absolutely bonkers. It made people basically just leave zones, Like, oh, Sandstorm's happening. I'm out. I'm done. I'm leaving. Let's get out of here. Flash fire damage increase. We'll have to see how that works because that's dot damage and it's got a proc. So may be good, maybe bad. I don't know. Some of this stuff we just have to test it out. They should have licenses. What? License to Sandstorm. They look terrible. I'm all for the environmental effects, but have them look good. Yeah. They have changed them a little bit. So like the one in Night Harbor is less intense. I don't know. I think that's going to be updated over time. This right here, though, this is a bad change. Celestial Strike and Round Kick are now on the melee global cooldown. What this means is you cannot use them like together, which it's bad. I don't know. Feels kind of like a bad change. But we'll have to see because Round Kick, I don't know. I think it's got a stun affected to it or something, like an AoE stun on Round Kick. Or maybe that's Sweeping Kick. Sweeping Kick now uses the roundhouse kick animation. Maybe Sweeping Kick was the stun. I don't know. See how these changes, the monk changes are in there. These wizard changes look like they're pretty good. Patch will be incoming shortly to resolve inventory issues. Thanks for the patience. All right, so we'll just have to see. That was 30 minutes ago. How quick are these big patches? EQ still can take 6 hours typically. Their patches are fairly fast. So when they do a patch, they take the server down, they send out the patch, they bring the servers right back up. Like it's usually only down for a few minutes. Now they might be bringing it back up and testing it on their end before they bring it back up this time. I don't know. But usually they're pretty quick. But I've got about 40 minutes or so before I have to leave for the day. So we'll see if we can get back in, play for a little bit. Not necessarily, maybe for the day. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Much quicker than EQ? Yeah, they don't take the servers down for like hours and hours and hours. They don't do that. Like this patch this morning, servers are now patching, becoming back down 20 minutes, etc. This right here. So like at 8 o'clock this morning, I got on it. Oh, well, he did extend it. So he did the patch, people logged in, and then he brought it back down, and then they extended it a little bit longer. But you can see here, it was only like 30 minutes. A little late to the party, but I was watching you in the Sandflats earlier. I timed you kill the Revelers about 80 seconds. Pale workers the other day. It took similarly long. The devs keep talking about TTKs. To me, the entire party killing one mob for a minute or more seems excessive already. Yeah, I mean, it would be excessive. But no, the TTK in this game for a full party is meant to be around 30 to 40 seconds. I would say currently it's closer to about 20 seconds for a full party because of charm and other abilities and things. It was getting low. In a full normal party without using charm, it's closer to about 30 to 40 seconds, which is where it's supposed to be. So they're trying to increase the TTK a little bit. Now, if you're solo or duo or something, the TTK is going to go up drastically. Like very, very high. It could take like over a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to fight one mob. So it just depends. Let's log back in. Let's see, beta server. Let's see if it's back up. I think it might be back up. Yeah, it's back up. They didn't do an actual patch. They just patched the server. But everything's back up. So, yeah, we're back in. Did you confirm that the 10-second or reservation doesn't work? I tried it once and it did not work offline, Banana. What? What's automatically? Yeah. I think they did that to fix the like at Alt F4 and then logging another character. Like you can't do that anymore, I think. I don't know. I'll test it real quick. We're going to test it. This is for bug purposes. We're testing to see if they added this in or not. They did not fix that yet, it looks like. So maybe they didn't fix that. That might be part of the change, though. Yeah, don't flame me for doing that. Using an exploit. All right, I'm back. I don't know who leader is now. But yeah, they didn't fix that bug yet. But that might be part of the changes to that. You need to test with mob aggro to know for sure. Well, it allowed me to log in another character. So it'll kick out your other character, I'm pretty sure. Someone with flame. Oh, yeah. People are talking about it. It's an exploit, technically. Oh, my God, invite me game. All right, I'll pull some. I gotta leave in like 40 minutes or so. Nope, I got 2. Does int increase damage for shaman druid? Yes, it increases damage for any spells, including dots. But it's a very, very small amount, so it's hard to see. It's about 1% for 20 intelligence. So you're not going to see a huge change. Oh, yeah, that's breaking pretty quickly. Donkey Watcher? Yeah. He's checking, he's testing to see if he's making a trail still. It looks like they fixed that. I'm asking Coffee if he's tested Charming today. Died to another bug, and now my entire inventory. Ooh. I got 2 again. What's the duration on your charm looking like on gaming? Yeah, that's really short, dude. What's your charisma? Yeah, that charm is breaking fast. The question is, though, is it based on the max duration? Since yours is a max duration of 18 seconds, is it just cutting that time down? Or is it just breaking? Because it seems like it's breaking within like 5 seconds. Yeah, that's breaking super fast. Yeah, I mean, maybe these charm changes, these charisma changes are good. This might be... Exactly. That's what I've been saying. Like, it's not going to be fun to use now. But, I mean, maybe if you max out charisma and you don't go for intelligence. I don't know. Your signs of Ogok? Yeah, man. I'm super scared. The charisma change to charm. Yeah, I'm an Inquisitor. Well, for an Inquisitor, it shouldn't matter. Because Inquisitors are on a 20-minute cooldown, and it's unresistible charm for 60 seconds. So, like, that shouldn't affect anything. You should always get that charm for 60 seconds. Stats seems to be molding different builds now. They do, and that's a good thing. Like, gearing should be a thing in this game. Up to this point, anybody outside of a tank or melee classes, gear didn't matter as much. Like, it mattered a little bit, but it really didn't matter that much. They wanted charisma to help with charm. Why didn't they program shouting into your mic, your spells? That could be a way to do it, yeah. 20-minute cooldown? Yeah. Inquisitor's charm is a 20-minute cooldown with a 1-minute duration. You can't just charm mobs indefinitely. It doesn't affect Mez. Yeah, Mez is still going to be 18 seconds. It's supposed to affect fear, though, so I don't know how that's going to work. Like, we need to get Andy to check that out. Yeah, that was 18 seconds. So a reliable charm for 1 minute. It doesn't randomly break. No, it's a guaranteed charm. Unresistible for 1 minute duration on a 20-minute cooldown. That is the Inquisitor charm. So it's fine. What? Yeah, platinum jewelry. You should be able to. So, yeah, people are going to be stacking that jewelry, which, you know, we'll have to see how that plays out. Oh, I've got a necklace for you. What are you using for a necklace? Yeah, I've got a 7 int, 7 wisdom necklace. I just gave it to Cat. Well, if you don't use it, we need to give it to Andy. It's probably gold. Oh my god. Accept that. Yeah, that'd be annoying if you have to constantly swap out gear. But that, I think that's the idea, is that you either choose, I'm going to be charming or I'm not going to be charming. And that's a decent change. What, you're not going to play if you can't charm? Well, I mean, charm is... Yeah, but charm is completely broken. I know, but now you're complaining that if they take away charm, like, you see what I'm saying? It just goes the opposite direction. What's Gamey's charisma? 29. We just checked. What stats are you gonna put in the other charisma anyway? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So they're gonna either go like stack intelligence, or they're gonna have to stack charisma. Like, it all depends on itemization, really. If we get a bunch of items that have a lot of intelligence and a lot of charisma on them, you know, what's the point? You're getting just both things. So they have to make sure they do itemization where it either has charisma or wisdom or intelligent. Like, it's got to be like an or thing. So it really depends on how they do itemization. Yeah, there's a charisma ability spell, a trait that you can choose. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to change it this way, but at least hopefully it'll resolve some of the issue of just everybody charming everywhere. I agree, yeah. No. People always like children, things get balanced. Yeah. Yeah, like they need to make charm, like charm is fun the way it currently is, partly because it's super duper strong. Like, it's easy to use and it's very, very strong. But if they change it to where they're doing it now, where charm just breaks constantly unless you have a lot of charisma, it's going to make this spell less fun, and that's also not a good thing to do. So they need, in my opinion, to reduce the amount of damage that charm mobs do, but allow you to easily charm mobs to make it still a fun ability to use. Yeah, they basically made it, that's exactly what we're saying. They basically made it, if you don't have a ton of charisma, they've made it a not fun spell to use, which is, I guess, good. It basically takes charm completely out of the picture, but they may as well just not have charm in the game at that point. You know, but if you stack charisma, maybe it actually, you know, if you have 200 charisma, maybe your charm now lasts for 20 minutes, in which case that would be good again. So it's one of those things that we're going to have to test, and we're going to have to see exactly you know, how well it works with the charisma. Still can't charm giants? Water basilisk? Yeah. How much charisma do you have, Andy? You said 20 or something? Okay. And it hasn't lasted more than 5 seconds when you charm? Yeah, and that's the other thing that I'm talking about, like with the stream and stuff, is like, it depends on how they itemize things. If they itemize the game where they give intelligence casters, like if there's items out there that give you a bunch of intelligence and a bunch of charisma, then that defeats the whole purpose. But if they actually have items out there that are intelligence and then other items that have charisma and force you to choose which way you want to go, that could be a good change. But again, like you were saying, you're going to have 2 sets of gear that you're running around with, you know, based on the situation. And it's just, I mean, I see where they're going with it, and it could be good, but I don't think it's going to be fun for a lot of those classes. But again, we'll have to see. Is that you flopping over there, right near us? Okay. Yeah, I get it. Like it's very aggravating. Like I said, well, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to be around a bunch today anyway. I got to leave in like 30-ish minutes or so, and for like an hour, and then I got to go to dinner with the family. That's around 5:30 or so. So I'm going to be away for a few hours today myself. Yeah, it seems like Charm is, with this new change, is nerfed quite a bit, which is good in some ways. Did you want to join us for now or no? Am I leader, or did you guys, somebody else though? You think boxing is going to work? Seems like healing cleric feels kind of passive. Boxing is very easy in this game, and you know, it's not hard to do by any means. I did it a lot in the alpha server. We are not allowed to box on these beta servers. So if you see somebody boxing, let them know, hey, you're not supposed to be boxing, and then kind of move on with your day. But they're going to have box servers and no box servers. So just choose the server that you want to be on. But boxing like a single extra class isn't too hard. Maybe 2 characters. But once you get to like 4, 5, 6, if you're trying to box like a full group, it's going to be very difficult. And you're going to probably need to have some sort of third-party software, which is also not approved by the devs. So it's going to be tough. The whole point is any DPS that is not Charm class is nerfed to the group. Yes, that's 100%. You're right. Exactly. And I agree with that. Right now, or prior to this change, Charm was literally replacing DPS classes in your party. Like, you either are a Charm class or you didn't get a group. So, like, it felt really bad. You know, so, like, these changes are good and bad. Lowering the damage of the mob is not the answer. I think it can be another answer, right? It's another resolution. I'm not saying it's the be all end all answer, but it's a possibility. If you finally have a good change which requires caster support to itemize and focus heavily on gear, which I say is healthy for the game, you are still saying it doesn't fix the issue. There's going to be no end to it then? No. I think that is a good change, Baron. We'll have to see how it plays out with the charisma, right? We'll have to see how it plays out. Like, how much charisma do you need? How hard is it going to be to itemize that? How hard is it going to be for you to gain charisma? Like, there's a lot of other factors now. They just introduced another layer to it that we're gonna have to see how it functions. So overall, yeah, this could work. This could be the change we've been waiting for. Absolutely. What I'm saying, though, as far as it not being fun, is they have literally now made it to where the charm classes are not going to be having fun unless they stack charisma, right? So now you basically can't charm at all without having the gear for it, which is a good change. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how it plays. I would have rather them, personally, would have rather them just reduce the amount of damage that charm does when you charm a mob, but then allow characters to charm them a little easier. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I can't really say whether this is going to be good or bad today or like right now because we haven't had a chance to really test it. This could be a good change. It could be a bad change. Reason I ever box, it was hard to get groups. Yeah, it is hard to get groups. It can be hard to get groups for sure. Putting a non-removable debuff on charm, yeah. There's a lot of ways. If I charmed Tim Brady, you mean Tom Brady? Oh yeah, you do. There you go. I can't operate him better than myself. That's what that's how I look at it, right? You charm a mob, it shouldn't be full capacity. Like that mob shouldn't have 100% of what it could always do, because they're better non-charm. But that's just my opinion. Charming Tom Brady becomes Tim Brady. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's annoying, like you can't really AFK on charm classes. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's very annoying to charm in the game. I agree. If you're playing a charm class, you can't really go AFK and take a break. But guess what? I can't either as a tank of the party, right? If I go AFK and I take a break, my group basically can't do anything because I'm not tanking for them. So, I don't know. I look at it as that's kind of fair. The healer goes AFK. Oh, group's got to stop doing what they're doing because we don't have a healer. So, charm classes, they want to go AFK, they got to stop charming for a second. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why, that's even an argument, to be honest. I mean, maybe I'm missing something there, but to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If anybody goes AFK, like, it hurts the group. Range DPS is the chillest way to play the game. Yeah, I've always said that. DPS, they just sit there, they nuke. They can read a book. They can literally do anything. All they got to do is just have a little macro and hit the macro every once in a while. Just boop, boop. That's it. That's all they do. Super chill, super easy. What if every time you charm a mob, it automatically creates a post on Reddit about charm ruining the game? That would be... I mean, isn't that kind of already happening? Honestly, like I think that's already happening, Milos. I'm pretty sure. Anytime you get a group without a charmer in your party, instant Reddit post. Go the other way. Make charm mobs able to one-shot their charmer when it breaks. Maximize risk versus reward. That's another way you could go with it, Italica. And of course, I would also complain about that. Or I would debate that. People think that I'm just 100% against charm because I'm against how it was previous to today. I'm not against it. Like, I just think that it's just too strong the way that it was. We'll have to see how it changes today. We'll be messing with it today some, and we'll kind of go from there. We're going to keep looking at it, or I'm going to keep watching it. I assume the devs will keep watching it. Now hear me out on this. What if for charm they have a 10% or whatever percent chance to start attacking you instead of a hard 20 seconds? You mean like you charm a mob and it attacks you instead of it like doing what you say? I mean, they could do that, yeah. Like if it resists, I think that if you charm a mob and it resists your charm, or after the charm breaks, it should be locked on to the spellcaster for like a short duration. I absolutely think that's how they should have done the risk. Is like make it to where the mob like gets aggroed, like it just for, let's say 20-30 seconds after the charm breaks, it now is enraged because you tried to charm it, and you can't stun it, you can't taunt it. It's just going to be locked onto the charmer because it's like, why did you try to charm me? And it's just going to lay into him, right? That would have solved the problem, right? That would have solved the issue. People would be like, I'm not charming, you're going to get me killed. Like, the death penalty is a very big deterrent. You would just mez it. Maybe make it immune to mez. Make it immune to CC, and just enraged on the charmer for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Some short duration. It wouldn't take long. And that would definitely stop some of it, right? It wouldn't stop all of it, but it would stop some of it for sure. Like, that would be a much higher risk. And I don't think people would be willing to risk their character dying to charm a mob. Some people would still do it, but not many people. I'm not charming because I'll die as a monk main. Yeah, suck it up, coward. Exactly. They clearly went heavy in the other direction. Probably just a classic strat. I like that they went heavy in the other direction, right? They're finally going heavy in the other direction to see how it plays out. That's literally what I asked for a couple days ago. Why are we making these very minuscule, tiny changes that are not affecting things? Let's go in the other direction and see how it plays out. So let's see how it plays out today. And for the next couple of days, see what they do with it. See how charmers feel. Let charmers start stacking charisma and see where it goes. Like, the people right now, a lot of the people that are testing it haven't put any points into charisma because they didn't need to until today. So why would they have put points into charisma? But give them a couple days to make some charisma jewelry. I mean, you could get 5 pieces of +7 charisma jewelry. That's an additional 35 charisma on top of your starting stats, which is about 20 charisma. So you're sitting at 55 charisma once you get the jewelry. And that's not hard for people to do. So let's see what happens when people actually have decent amount of charisma and they're charming. And then we'll reevaluate, right? Even if you have a mez and mimbler, it's more required than just recharm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, you're not just stunning it for 5 seconds and then charming it again. What changed with charm? So now charm requires charisma. They finally did add that in, and they're leveraging charisma, and it looks like you just need more charisma to be able to charm a mob successfully, is what it seems like. Which is going to make a lot of the charmers upset, and it's going to make them all cry and be like, oh my god, charm is pointless now. And I get it, yeah. But on the other end, it was way too strong. So, it's another step in the right direction, and then we'll see. They're going to have to fine-tune this back and forth until it gets to where they want it to be. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. What if they made it charm was only a group ability? Make it so is channeled so that you can't do anything. I think that would be a really good one, Burl. Make it channeled to where if you charm a mob, while it's charmed, you can't do anything else. You can't cast other spells. You can't move your character. You're charming. You're focusing on charm, right? Make it that way. That could be a fun way to play the game. That could be a whole class in itself as a charmer. You know, there's a lot of ways that they could adjust it. This is one of the ways they adjusted it. Now it's probably going to be adjusted on the other side where charm classes, people that were used to charm working the way that it did, are now going to start screaming and crying and complaining. I don't know. Play your class in a different way. Don't rely on charm so much. You know, like I feel like we got to that point because they made charm so good that people were relying on charm. And now it's a crutch. It's turned into a crutch. I think it's gonna be 2. It might be 3. Let me see if that adds another one. It looks like just 2. Imagine being a support role, not a charm bot. Yeah, exactly. Wild card. That's where I'm at. You know, imagine actually playing a support class where you're buffing the party, you're mezzing, you know, you're supporting the party and not just charm DPS. That's what it was, and now it's going to be a support class, a utility role, which is what I think that the Enchanter and Bard should be. And now the Druid is a healer with a lot of utility, and it's not just let's add a Druid to the party so they can charm more stuff. You know, let's add a Necromancer to the party so they can charm undead. That's, you know, actually use their other abilities. And I know that that's going to make some people upset. I get it, you know, but they're not going to be more upset than people that were against charm. Charm outside, charm causing the enchanter to channel is a good idea too. I like that idea. I don't know if it would work, but I like the idea. Hey mates, how's everyone? What's going on, Mineswept? How are you? You charm and support? When you play the enchanter, you charm and support? Yeah, and some people do. But is that too much? That's the problem. Is that going to be too much? If you can charm a mob in a party and support equally as well, is that good? I mean, enchanters now are probably going to just stack charisma. Honestly, they're going to stack charisma and they're going to continue to charm as their DPS in a group. I still think that that's 100% what they're going to do. You know, this has been literally live for a couple of hours. People haven't stacked their charisma to see actually how it works. Like, give it some time, stack your charisma, test it out. Let's see how it's going to function. That's what the class is about. I don't think it is. I don't think it's about charming mobs and supporting, because the issue has been that the charmed mobs are significantly more damage than any other class in the game. So if you can charm a mob indefinitely, if you can charm a mob and then have it be more DPS than a DPS class, and you're adding support to that group at the same time, and you're just one class, that's just too good, and it makes you not want to have other classes in your party, like other DPS classes. Like, why would you want a rogue or a wizard in your party when an enchanter is more damage than the rogue or the wizard, and it adds utility? Right? Like, that was like the biggest argument for it, for the change. Like, every class wanted to have a charmer in their party, as many charmers as possible in their party. Make the charms take a larger XP share. That was another suggestion that a lot of people put out there, because charm killing mobs, you could basically charm one mob to kill another mob and effectively kill 2 mobs at the same time. So you're getting double the amount of XP. That's another reason people wanted charm changed, outside of the group reason, right? So there's multiple reasons for the change. But I mean, I think the change so far has been good. Charm now breaks a lot with low charisma, so we'll have to see how it breaks with high charisma. Because what if you can stack 200 charisma and guarantee that it lasts for like 5 minutes? That's pretty strong. That's still very strong. It's stronger than it used to be. So maybe they actually adjusted it so that charisma now that it has an effect on charm, it might actually increase the effectiveness of charm once you stack your charisma higher. So we have to see how that's going to be. OP Charm was in the game for, what, 3 weeks of beta? Can't believe some are throwing the toys out. Well, it's been in for all of alpha as well. It's been a problem for the entirety of this game. But it was exacerbated with beta because people just used it so much. The entire time that beta has been available and people have been playing the game in beta, it's been basically the meta, right? Everybody is using charm to level up quickly. If you didn't have a charm person in your party, then the game felt bad in comparison. As soon as you add one player charming, the game felt too easy in comparison. So, like, that's the issue, is the drastic difference that charm makes. Like, it made a huge difference. More people playing, more people seeing it. It's been around since pre-alpha. Yes, exactly. More people playing, more people seeing it. We're able to actually stream now, whereas in alpha we could not stream it. So, you know, it's just, this has been an issue for a while, for a long time. Only reason I've been following since beta launch. Yeah, if you've only been following since the beta, then it's only been, you know, a few weeks that you've seen the problem. But it's absolutely been an issue for a long time. I've been in the alpha testing, the closed alpha testing, and playing it and seeing this issue for about a year. We saw it for a very long time, and we kept trying to say, hey, this is the problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. And now that we have a lot more eyes on it, you know, they're now finally going, okay, yeah, we see what the problem is. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm still rolling Deep Gnome Enchanter. Yeah, I think that charm is still going to be in a good place. Once you add in charisma, once you add and you stack charisma on your gear, I think charm is probably going to be in a pretty good place, where it's just going to now be required to have, whereas before it wasn't. So, anyway, I've got an appointment I've got to get to. This has been an awesome day. Like, I really do appreciate all the discussions and stuff. But I've got an appointment that I've got to get to. I may stream later today. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I will definitely be back on here, though, tomorrow morning. 9 a.m. Eastern, as usual. Maybe, depending on if I have to do a recap video or not, or if I do a recap video from Sean. Sean is supposed to be streaming today. Let me see if he actually is. If he is, we'll raid him. He is not currently streaming that I see. But I'll be back on here maybe tonight, but definitely tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Appreciate everybody being here. It's been awesome. It's been fun. And hopefully I see you all next time. Bye.